We are live now on Prep Radio, everything but the radio. So I am going to pull this out and test it, make sure everything looks good.
How about 92.7?
No, everything but the radio. Yeah, we are, but they got a pregame show. I'm talking about. Yeah,
Oh,
thank you. Um, I'm just saying, be careful because even though this mic's off, for whatever
yeah.
reason, this mic can still pick up even when it's off.
Okay, I'll
Now
try
it
to
does.
be.
Make sure and put it off because it does make it quieter, but you can still hear if you
Yeah,
listen. So
right. I got you. All right, I'll behave. I'll try.
ish.
I'll behave.
Don't behave too much. Testing 1, 2, 3. 19 minutes until Wildcat football. 19 minutes until Wildcat football.
Roll Tide with Deshaun Bohan. Here's a write-up on the Sports Hall of Fame people. She's texting me the king and queen. I gotta pull that up right quick. So far, she hasn't sent it to me.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write down, not all this, but I'm going to write down the Hall of Fame members or inductees.
There we go. That blonde kid that does well. What's his name again? Titan. Is that right?
Uh, with the arm,
No, the one that was
that
in
was
here,
just here.
the welder.
Let's say that's Titus with the arm. That's Alex Waraxa.
Oh, that's Alex Waraxia. Okay.
I like the Stones more than the Beatles. I
Huh?
like the Stones more than the
Oh
Beatles.
yeah, me too.
You know, you want to talk about interesting. Those guys still kicking and touring at 80 years old. Who would
Yeah,
have thought they'd
really.
even be alive at 60?
Yeah,
Nonetheless,
really.
touring
You'd
at
think
80.
that
That's
with all
crazy.
the drugs and stuff they did, they'd be dead. Really? Not many people here from Clintonia. 15 minutes away. All right. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and I'll be right back.
Wildcat football coming up from Blankenship Field in about 2 minutes. You know, I was a member of the Wild Band my freshman year.
No, really?
Oh, yeah. Easy A. I liked it. I didn't want to march. My basketball coaches told me, they basically told me I was missing too much conditioning. I was like, I'm the skinniest one on the team. But they didn't want me missing conditioning because it was required. You couldn't stay in band. It was a requirement. If you were in band, you had to march. And my basketball coaches were like, well, you're missing too much conditioning. I'm like, well, so it was basketball or band. You want to guess which one I picked? Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
I never was very instrumental. My daddy could play a Hawaii steel guitar.
Drums.
Really good.
Man, a steel guitar's a beautiful
Oh, I
instrument.
could play with the skin glue.
The steel guitar is a beautiful instrument.
It is.
That and the mandolin. I love bluegrass. I love that mountain music.
One of these times I'll play you the music Eddie used to play.
I'd love to hear
He
it.
played with our Lester Flatner on Strud.
Ooh.
He
I
was good.
saw,
He was really good.
what's the other, not Ralph Stanley, what's the guy, the other big guy, oh shoot, you'd know his name. You know Keith Whitley started with Ralph Stanley?
Yeah. Here's tonight's captain for us. There's tonight's captain for us.
Thank you.
62, 63, 69, 27.
Ricky Skaggs. He came
Ricky
to Oak Ridge
Skaggs.
a couple years back.
Really?
I saw him. He performed at the pavilion at the Civic Center. Yeah, I was honored. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Not ready?
Do you have what you need for this?
I'd love to have one of those. Thank you.
You're welcome. I ain't much, but I'm all you got.
You guys know it's nothing like those 73 steps. Yeah, it's nothing like the shit on Friday night.
Hello again, and welcome to Blankenship Field. The storylines are endless for tonight's region matchup between the Clinton Dragons and the Oak Ridge Wildcats. Just 1 year ago, Joe Gaddis made a triumphant return to the sidelines as head coach Derek Ring had to sit out after being controversially removed from the mid-county game the week before. After a regular season win at Clinton, the Dragons shocked many around the area by ending the Wildcats season right here on Blankenship Field. Tonight, the boys in Cardinal and Gray have revenge on their mind. It's Oak Ridge, it's Clinton, a rivalry generations in the making, and quite frankly, it doesn't get bigger than this. Alex Myers with you all night long, and to my right here in the booth is the legend, the wild man, Mike Sheehan. As I welcome you into the booth, Mike, I want to hear your thoughts on this historic rivalry as the boys in Cardinal and Gray trot down the 72 steps onto the sod at Blankenship Field. Mike, what does this rivalry mean to you?
It means everything. I mean, this is the most exciting game that I've ever played in and that I've ever broadcasted. These teams really don't like each other, but then they're friends. They have a lot of friends, and I think it's a great rivalry. And, we owe them. We got put out of the playoffs last year by Clinton. We should have won that game. We let it get away from us. So we're going to be really fired up to come back and win this game tonight. It's a regional game. It's a must if you want to get it in the playoffs and get a good spot. We got to win this game tonight, Alec.
Absolutely. For Clinton, your probable starters on offense at running back, it is number 2, Elijah Davidson. Will Keese Young as a wide receiver. At quarterback, it's sophomore number 5, Jalen Benjamin. On their quarterback, Benjamin, I've been told by a Clinton source that he has been benched before and seen some starting time, seen some of that time taken away. So he's the probable starting quarterback, but do not be surprised if Clinton goes with a different man at some point. Another wide receiver, number 7, Bryson Maddox. He is the guy, and I mean the guy for the Dragons. Very comparable statistically in a lot of ways to Will Presley, both of them 2 of the more productive, more prolific receivers in the area. Also for Clinton, it is Bo Wright, a wide receiver. Riker Arms, a running back, former Wildcat, as a matter of fact. And up front, it's Connor Riggs, the center. The left tackle, Xander Huffman. The left guard, Seth Carroll. The right guard, Donnie Humphrey. And the right tackle, Andrew McCamus. Mike, about 30 seconds to go in this ball game. This is going to be an exciting one. It's been a kind of a just bad weather. If you're not in East Tennessee and you're listening to us maybe out of state or out of the area, pray for the folks around East Tennessee. There's a lot of folks, unfortunately, dealing with some flooding issues, and we know all too much about that. And however, school was canceled for Anderson County schools. School was canceled for Oak Ridge schools. So neither of these teams were in their normal rhythm throughout the day. Neither of them went to school today, but they're playing tonight at Blankenship Field. The crowd a little sparse for a Clinton game, but I'm wondering, I can't help, Mike, but think if that weather didn't have something to do with that.
I guarantee it did. The high winds really caused a lot of down trees, people having problems with landscaping issues on the roads, and a lot of flooding around the area, so I'm sure that's going to discourage some people from coming out. But I hope you all are listening in to prepradio.com and 92.7, because we're the only game in town tonight. Most of the teams, all the Knoxville teams, cancel their games for tomorrow night. So it's Oak Ridge and Clinton. It's going to be a great football game.
It's homecoming, which means obviously the homecoming court will do its thing at halftime, but also, and we'll talk more about this throughout the night, but a new set of inductees, 3 of them, into the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame. Clinton will kick off. Their backs towards Jackson Square, the north side of the end zone is where they're kicking to. Will Presley back deep for the Wildcats. This is not a good kick. Fielded at the 33 by Oak Ridge's Angel, and that's exactly where he's just going to take a knee. So Oak Ridge offense sets up at the 33. Mike, I just don't think they wanted to give Will Presley a chance, and I don't blame him. Quickly for Oak Ridge, the offense up front, left to right. It's tackle Jared Bafford, guard Elijah Young, center TJ Hibben, guard Malachi Bonner, and tackle on the right side, Ethan Eubanks. At quarterback, Blaine Stansberry. At running back, DeMillion Porter. At wide receiver, Jarrell Jimerson, Will Presley, and Adam Washington. Wildcats come out in their all-gray uniforms, traditional Cardinal helmets. Stansberry sends a man in motion. He's going to give up the middle to Porter. Porter crosses the 35, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 38-yard line. So a gain of 5 on first down. Good start for this offense.
Good start for the Wildcats. Good blocking up front by the big guys. Broke him loose for about 5 yards, maybe 6. Good start for the Wildcats.
So look across the way, Mike. It's a rather sparse crowd for Clinton compared to what we've seen the last few years. Maybe it's because their team is not as highly touted, but still coming into Blankenship Field off of a win last year. I would have expected a little bit more, but maybe the weather is a factor. 2 men to the right for Stansberry. He takes a snap, fakes to Porter, rolls left. He's got a man over there. That's Howard. Howard is blasted immediately, but does make the catch for a gain of about 3. So, again, a positive play for the Wildcats. Brings up third and 2. Tackle was made by Bo Wright, the senior defensive back for the Dragons.
Yeah, Clinton got up on that early, but he still managed to get 3 yards out of it. Brings that 3rd down and 2nd now on the 41.
3rd and 2, 11-17 to go in the first quarter on this opening drive for the Wildcats. Stansberry give right side to Porter. He crosses the 40, the 45, and he needed the 43, so that's a 10 bank of Oak Ridge First down for the Wildcats. The change moved, and they officially mark it at the Wildcat 46-yard line. Inching closer to midfield is Derek Rain's squad as we approach the 11-minute mark, just nearly a minute into this first quarter. And, Mike, that's going to be something interesting to see. How does Oak Ridge play this? Obviously, they've got some good skill position players, but Clinton not as highly touted up front on the lines of scrimmage as they have been in the past few years. First down snap goes to Stansberry. He wants to take a deep shot. He can't. He doesn't have the time, and Riker Arms is going to bring him down. But Blaine Stansberry shows some strength and takes it across. It would have been a sack, but he actually gains 2 yards. And that's interesting because Riker Arms, I was told, actually has 4.5 sacks on the season. Arms, a former Wildcat playing running back and linebacker for the Dragons, just 3 sacks away from the single-season record at Clinton, which is set at 7.5. Again, he has 4.5 this season so far. Almost had one there, but Blaine Stansberry broke free for a couple of yards. No running back in the backfield this time. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left for Stansberry. Ball on the left hash. 46-yard line is where the ball sits. Stansberry, and a quick flip out to Presley, and it's incomplete. Ball bounced just in front of Presley. Mike, that wasn't going to be much running room even if he caught that one.
Now, Bryson Maddox there on the defense for the Clinton Dragons broke that up before it really got started good. Good defense that time by the Dragons.
So 3rd and 8, ball actually at the 48 of the Wildcats on their side of midfield. 9:57 to go in the opening quarter. Let's see what Coach Rang wants to do. That's really the first play all game that hasn't gained positive yards, as we are 5 plays deep. Here comes the 6th play from scrimmage in this one. Man in motion, left to right. Here, set up a screen pass. Stansberry wants to hit him. He's not there. Great coverage by Clinton, and Blaine's going to be sacked way back at the 43-yard line. That's just a covered sack, Mike. Their defense red screen, and they didn't fall for it.
Yeah, Lucas Butts there on the tackle for the Dragons. The Wildcats are going to have to punt it away. Good defense to stand that time by the Dragons. Wildcats didn't. Rockin just broke down. He could not get anywhere on that play. A loss of a few yards. That brings up 4th and 13 from the 43. Eli Pearson back to punt.
That's one of those where you tip your cap to the folks across the way and say, defensive coordinator, that's a good call. Punt is off, nearly blocked though. Heavy rush from the Dragons. It's going to be fielded at the 25. He takes it across the 30, and they're going to mark him down, we'll say, at the 32-yard line. And Oak Ridge started at the 33. Clinton will start at their 32 on their first drive, coming out in their all-white uniforms, bright orange helmets with 9:08 to go in the opening quarter. They've got a dangerous man at receiver, Mike. You don't want to let him get loose. That's going to be a key for Oak Ridge, is to stop number 7, Maddox, from breaking loose. He's had a similar season to Will Presley as far as just how impactful he has been to this offense.
This ought to be an interesting matchup without a doubt. Both these teams are really want it bad tonight. You can bet on that.
Lone man wide to the left near the Oak Ridge sideline. Ball is spotted on the far side hash near the Clinton sideline as Clinton's driving away from Jackson Square. Handoff goes up the middle to the running back. Arms, we mentioned him earlier, will see action at the running back, but he will also sub out. It looks like that is not Arms. It is number 11, which is Jackson Harrell, junior running back for the Clinton Dragons. A lot of famous Harrells have come through Clinton, including Scotty Harrell. And that was Big T-Ray Threet. Thank you, Mike, for spotting that one out for me, who probably had his best game as a Wildcat last week. He was everywhere. Wildcats hoping he can build off of that performance.
He's playing great ball down low for the Wildcats.
2nd and 8. Here comes a quick pass. They try to, man misses, nearly had him a sack in the backfield. Quarterback's just going to take off. He's going to scramble across the 35, and J.T. Gormley brings him down by a shoestring at the 38. So nice first down saving tackle from JT right there. And with 8:15 to go, the teams will go back to the huddle, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 38-yard line.
Yeah, I thought Marnie Bishop had him there. He had him caged in, but he made a great move and got outside and gained about 7 yards on that play.
Yeah, quarterback Jalen Benjamin, just a sophomore, big kid back there, not super tall, but he looks like he's going to be a load to bring down. Quick handoff left side off the man in motion. He breaks free across the 50, 45, 40, across the 30. One man to beat. Can he do it? He cannot. Tyree Porter with a touchdown saving tackle all the way down at the 14-yard line. They're going to actually walk it back up to the 18, but what a run. A huge, huge play for Clinton.
Absolutely. Elijah Davison just got wide open, and when he got out in space, he can run too, and he got up the field very quickly. 1st and 10 on the Wildcat 18.
Big gain, but a touchdown-saving tackle from Oak Ridge safety Tyree Porter. Let's see if that makes a difference in this ball game, if the Wildcats can hold them to a field goal here. Pass on 1st and 10. Across the middle to Maddox. He catches it at the 6, across the 5, 4, 3, and into the end zone. Bryson Maddox. Clinton strikes first at Blankenship Field.
18-yard touchdown pass and catch for the Dragons. They go up 6-0 with 7:12 here in the first quarter.
We warned you guys about Bryson Maddox. It doesn't make us geniuses. It's just what they've done all year. He was a threat even with as many weapons as they had last year. He was the guy to watch even on that team. And this year, he is the guy for the Dragons. 6-0 the lead with 7:12 to go here in the first quarter. The Dragons strike first, and the field goal is up, or the extra point rather is up, and it's good. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have kickoff from Blankenship Field.
That was Jalen Benjamin, right?
On that long run? Yeah. On the no. Yeah, the pass before that. Yeah. You ever been to Six Flags over Georgia?
A long time ago.
That's the Great American Scream Machine.
Under sand? Muddy.
Water.
Wow. That's bad.
Kick off for the Dragons. D for the Wildcats, number 2, Will Presley.
Here's the approach. Here's the high short kick, going to be fielded by Tyree Porter at the 27. He's going to make a move, cross the 35, and he's going to be tackled not before he gets to the 37-yard line. So good field position to start their Oak Ridge Wildcats' second drive of the ball game. And in will come the offense. And, Mike, we talked a little bit about it last week, but for Oak Ridge, they're getting number 17 back. His first week was last week, and he played sparingly. This is a sophomore, 6 foot, 150-pound wide receiver defensive back. Not the most stout guy, but perhaps the best pound-for-pound athlete that the Wildcats have. He is a weapon. He's guarded by Maddox for the Dragons, the man who just scored. 7:07 to go in the first quarter. Clinton strikes first. They lead it 7-0. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Wildcats hand right side to Demillion Porter from the shotgun. He gets it, makes a great spin move, crosses the 45, and tackled near the first down marker. I think he's got it. Will they do it? They wave the change on. That's a Tin Bank of Oak Ridge first down off of it. If he needed 10 yards, he got 10 yards and an inch, but all that matters is he got the first down. Demillion Porter.
Another 10 bank first down for the Wildcats.
6:39 and counting here in the opening quarter. 2 receivers left. It's Will Presley and Jarrell Jimerson. The near side receiver on the near hash where the ball is placed is Justice West. Porter, the running back in the backfield. He's going to get a nice block from Howard at the H-back spot. And Mikey turned what looked like it was going to be about a gain of 1 into somehow a gain of 5. 6:12 to go here. 2nd down and 5 to go for the Wildcats. Clinton doing a pretty good job wrapping up when they get to the ball, Mike.
Absolutely. Clinton's playing tough right now, Alec. Wildcats need to keep this drive going, though. We finally are inside Clinton territory now at the 47-yard line.
2nd and 5, under 6 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Man in motion left to right is Jimerson. Handoff right side. Porter gets great blocking from the line and crosses over for a first down. However, unfortunately, there is a flag on the play. My guess is this is holding. Boy, there was a great push from that right side. That's Ethan Eubanks, Malachi Bonner at tackle and guard respectively, but they're going to walk this one back. That's unfortunate, Mike.
Yeah, it certainly is. That was a nice game. No, Wildcats got called for holding.
So what would have been a 1st and 10 from around the 40-yard line of Clinton results in a replay of 2nd down. It was 2nd and 5 before that play. And, boy, what a penalty, as it now will be 2nd and 15. I wonder if you might see a screen right here. Oak Ridge tried that last drive, but Clinton sniffed it out to perfection. Wide side of the field as Oak Ridge heads toward Jackson Square. As they're on the field, to their right is the home sideline in Jack Armstrong Stadium. Slow play call to get in right here as Blaine Stansberry finally gets a signal with 8 seconds to go. He's got to hurry. 5, 4 seconds on the play clock, 3. Here comes a timeout from Coach Rang. We'll take one with him. We'll be back to Blankenship Field in 30 seconds.
Timeout, Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge High School would like to thank the 2024 season ticket sponsor, Oak Ridge Vision Center.
It's kind of a sleepy game.
Yeah, really. It is. Sure enough.
Oak Ridge
For us, anyway.
founded on a simple premise that they can provide a good quality product surrounded by sincere and knowledgeable service. People will feel good about the work you have done.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan with you on the call tonight. David Clary, executive producing from Parts Unknown. I'm kidding. He's in Atlanta. Unfortunately, he loves working for the Braves, but sometimes there's just games that he can't get away from, and so he is in Atlanta this week. Could not be here. I'm sure he's regretfully so. I know he loves this rivalry. So much history. We appreciate him. Also, Brian Bennett back at the studios at WIJV at 92.7. Here comes a deep pass from Blaine Stansberry. Man wide open. It's Presley. He caught and is hit at the 30. He's trying to make his way out of that one. Can't, but a big play on 2nd and 15. The Wildcats convert for a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down, and it's 1st and 10 from the Dragon 28-yard line.
Trey Hall there on the stop for the Clinton Dragons, but not before Will Presley got a huge first down all the way down to the 28-yard line.
You never want to use a timeout early, but if you're going to use it, you might as well make it worthwhile. I'd say that was worthwhile as it turned to 2nd and 15 into a deep.
Excellent play call that time by the Wildcat coaching staff.
1st and 10, Jimerson in motion right to left, and Will Presley just moved a tiny bit in his stance at the wideout position. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Wildcats from their own 30 or from the Dragon 33-yard line. Mike, we were talking on the break a moment ago, and maybe it's the fact that the crowd is a little bit lulled. Maybe it's the penalties that we've seen. But the Wildcats, you mentioned, seemed out of sync. It's a little bit of a sleepy start for the Wildcats so far.
Well, this has been a kind of a slow starting team, as we well know by the first 2 games we played. But hopefully they're going to get better and more energetic as the game goes on, Alec.
So 1st and 15 from the Dragon 33-yard line. Wildcats trying to get into the end zone to tie this one up at 7 apiece midway through the first quarter. Another penalty, and I think it's going to be another false start. And maybe Wildcats are pointing towards Clinton, but Clinton fans are cheering, and I think they probably have good reason to. I think this is going to be another false start on the Wildcats, and it will be. And, Mike, this has been a problem at times this year. Oak Ridge struggling to play clean football, and at this point in the year, this is a team that's got a lot of veterans offensively, and that shouldn't be happening, especially not 2 plays in a row.
No, this is not a good start for the Wildcats. We've got to limit these penalties. It really puts us in behind the chain, and it's hard to catch up, Alec.
1st and 10, 1st and 20, handoff up the middle to Million Porter, and he's going to get about 7 of those yards back. They'll call it 6, so it will be 2nd and 14 from the Dragon 32-yard line, 33-yard line, we'll say. 3:40 to go here in the opening quarter. Clinton leads 7-0. Oak Ridge, this is their 2nd possession of the game. They started well on the first drive but had to punt, and Clinton marched right down the field and scored on their opening drive. And this is Oak Ridge's following drive, and so that's where we're at. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Here comes a screen to Malik Howard. It's going to be nearly intercepted, and boy, oh boy, the Clinton Dragon would love to have that one back. Jackson Harrell, the linebacker, the junior, he flashed right across the face, and he read that one like a book.
Yeah, that was just near completion as I've seen in a while. But actually, it bounced off his hands. Luckily, it fell incomplete. But the Wildcats have now 3rd down and 15.
Early on in this ball game, Clinton has sniffed out the screen game. Anytime Oak Ridge has tried to do anything delayed in the passing game, it has been sniffed out. The defensive line, not incredibly highly touted, I didn't feel like, coming into this ball game. But, boy, they've played well, played smart. 3rd and 15. In Dragon territory, it's a quarterback draw, designed draw, and Blaine's going to get about half the yardage needed. And so Oak Ridge is in field goal range, but Coach Ring does not look at all like he intends to pull his field goal or his offense off the field. They will stay on the field, and it will be a 4th down conversion attempt. Long conversion attempt on a windy night. Maybe you kind of don't want to risk a long field goal with kind of a circling wind. It's kind of changing directions. Right now it's coming from the south, blowing north, which is directly into the face of the would-be kicker for Oak Ridge, so this is probably the right move. 4th and 8, ball on the Dragon 26, or 26, excuse me, with 3:35 to go here in the first quarter. Oak Ridge is going to signal for a timeout, and I need to take one with them. I'm stumbling and bumbling over my words. Let's take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, it'll be 4th and 8 for the Wildcats.
I'd say we're going to kick a field goal.
I don't know that you do with the wind like it is, because look at it, but it hasn't been bad about the last hour, and all of a sudden it picked back up.
Yeah, you're right. It's swirling, no doubt about it.
It's coming. Yeah, but it's coming right at us.
Yeah, look, you can see the flag on the goalpost.
You can actually watch the goalpost shaking.
Yeah, right.
For all of your personal or business insurance needs. Thank you to Fox Insurance Group and all of our scoreboard sponsors.
Big play coming up here, 2:31 to go in the first quarter. I want to thank listeners wherever you are for watching on YouTube or listening via radio. Aaron Wells, longtime Oak Ridge Wildcats supporter, listening to us. We appreciate that. 4th and 8. Play action pass. Going left side to Will, and it's overthrown, and the Wildcats turn it over. I'll give them this. Play design was there. Will was open. The ball came out, I think, a little bit earlier than Will was expecting, and when he turned around, it was just too far over his head. I don't know. I don't want to place blame on Will or Blaine. It could have been the route was a little bit shorter. It could have been the throw was just a little bit off. But either way, Wildcats had a shot at it but cannot convert. So Clinton, with a 7-0 lead and 2:26 to go in the first quarter, takes over at their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, that ball sailed on him that time, Malik, when he let go of it. He's actually throwing it into the wind, but it got up too high and went on out of bounds. And, the Wildcats turned it over on down. 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Clinton Dragons.
Clinton, one wide receiver to either side, heavy package. They've got 2 H-backs, and they false started and almost didn't get called. Wow. A little bit of confusion from everywhere as there was it was a late hit, but I don't know if Gormley didn't see or hear the whistle. But no flag on him. This will be an easy call, a false start on the Dragons. So finally, it's Clinton getting the flag thrown on them. So far, this crew, Mike, I don't think they've called a penalty that I haven't seen yet.
No, that was the first penalty for the Dragons. But it was big that backs them up now to the 21-yard line.
1st and 15 from the 21.
1st and 15 from their own 21-yard line. Clinton has it. One receiver to the right, that's Maddox. One receiver to the left, which is Braylon Hayden. 2 H-backs and a tailback in the backfield with quarterback Jalen Benjamin. Benjamin's going to get hit as he throws. Overthrows the receiver who got blasted. It was Caden Stewart there to make the perfectly timed hit right as the wide receiver, Davidson, touched the ball. Caden just kind of undercut him. He had no shot at catching that one.
a good defense. He was right on top of it, getting a lot of pressure that time too. For the Wildcats, Amani Bishop was right on top of the quarterback and made him rush that throw a little bit, Alex.
2:21 to go in the opening quarter. 2nd and 15 from the Dragon 21-yard line. They're up 7-0. Benjamin, one man in the backfield. That's his running back. And I think another false start on Clinton. It will be. So it will be 2nd and 20. So both teams the last time out on the field for their offense, they've faced a 2nd and 20. Actually, for Oak Ridge, it was a 1st and 20. But regardless, both offenses, after showing some signs of life early on their second drive, start to sputter. And Mike, as a player, do you feel this kind of lack of energy right now? Or, well, we'll ask you about that when we come back. We'll take a 30-second break as Clinton calls a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan with you at Blankenship Field. I want to thank our camera crew, Ben George doing the up top camera. If you're watching on YouTube at just searching Prep Radio Oak Ridge, you can find that, the live stream audio and video over there. Matter of fact, that might be the suggested place. You can mute us and not have to put up with us. But we appreciate you watching however you're watching. Alex Waraxa, Grayson Brown, and where is he at? Matthew Charles on the sideline doing camera work for us tonight. We appreciate all those guys. 2nd and 20. The quarterback is nearly sacked, and he threw it away just in time. Headsy play by the quarterback, who was going to take a big sack, and he was going to get sacked all the way back at his own 5-yard line, but just before his knee touched, he let that ball go. Dangerous play, but it did save him about 10 yards.
Yeah,
Still
Jaden Benjamin was lucky that he didn't get in the grasp on that particular call. He got it away just in time. So Benjamin did a good job of getting rid of the ball, or they would have really been in a bind. Which now brings up 3rd and 20 for the Dragon.
2:15 to go. Mike mentioned it, 3rd and 20 from their own 16-yard line. Can't make a dangerous play if you're Clinton. If you're Oak Ridge, you can prevent here a little bit. Heavy coverage on Maddox, and that's where he wanted to go. And you know where he's going, Mike? He's going to the turf. Sacked. Tim Walters, Bishop.
Armani Bishop are also there on the stop for the Wildcat. Big sack, Alec. That really puts them in a bind now. They're inside the, 7-yard line now, I think.
Ferrara back there as well. It was a host of Wildcats. That defensive line is starting to wake up after a little bit of a sleepy start for just the Wildcats as a whole. It's 4th and 28. Punter is halfway back in his own end zone. The ball is at the 8. Here's the snap. Pocket is clean for the kick, a long spiraling kick. Both of these teams have good punters. It's going to be fielded at his own 45 by Jimerson. Across the 50, 45, 40, and he's not going to be tackled until he reaches the line to gain for Clinton on their last possession. Where is that at? The 36-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Oak Ridge offense.
Well, that was really a good punt by Blaine Collins for the Dragons, but an excellent return. The Wildcats now inside Dragon territory all the way down to the 36. Great return, good position by the Wildcats.
1st and 10, as we mentioned a moment ago. Adam Washington split wide left for Oak Ridge. Ball is on that left hash mark. Jimerson and Presley, the wide receivers, on the wide side of the field for quarterback Blaine Stansberry. H-back is the lead blocker, Howard, and he's going to give it up the middle. Is Stansberry to Demillion Porter for a gain of 4. So I think almost every time Oak Ridge has had a first down, they've ran it with Porter, and almost every time they've picked up 4 or 5 yards. They do so again there.
He's hitting the hole really fast tonight. Now he's getting in there really quick. Jackson Harrell on the stop for the Clinton Dragons.
We talked about the wind. It's a little bit unpredictable. It's been a windy day all day here in Oak Ridge, but right before the game started, the wind died, and then it picked up right on Oak Ridge's drive last time, and now it's died down again. Here's the quarterback keeper across the 30, needed 6, and he got about 5.5. So it will be 3rd and not quite a yard. Well, 3rd and right at a yard.
Only 33 seconds left here in the quarter, Alex. Almost second quarter coming up.
Oak Ridge does have to run a play. They were about 1/4 of a second less on the play clock than on the game clock. So they do have to snap this ball, and it looks like they're getting ready to do just that. Everybody's in tight here within about 5 yards of the quarterback. Stansberry hands it right side to Porter. Pressure in the backfield. He's going to cross the 30. That gives him the first down, 20, 15, and is finally wrapped up, but not before he gets inside the red zone down to the 15-yard line. And that should be the last play of the quarter. See if Oak Ridge, they don't have to run another play. They will not. We're going to take a 60-second timeout when we come back to Blankenship Field. It'll be second quarter from Oak Ridge.
That's the end of the first quarter.
We need to score really bad right here.
Something funny happening in the booth, a little behind the scenes as we're waiting for the teams to come back. The Diet Coke that I tried to get out from the cooler that they've got for the press box, every single one of them has got an indention, and I tried to open it, and you can see, Mike, that nobody cares about this, but I'm midway through the story, so I'll finish it. That you can't get any Coke out of here. So we're going to have somebody to go to a gas station or something at halftime, or I guess I could just suck it up. But why do that when you could complain over the air? 1st and 10 from the Dragon 15. The Wildcats desperately needing a score as they're down 7-0. First play of the second quarter upcoming. Stansberry in the shotgun with Demillion Porter to his right. They'll run it up the middle with Porter. He crosses the 15 and down to the 10, and boy, he's still driving. Got great leg drive as he crosses the 10-yard line down to the 9.
Good up front push by the Wildcat, number 74 in particular, Elijah Young, up front for the Wildcat, along with number 62, Ethan Eubanks on the block.
So it's second down from the 9-yard line. They can get a first down without scoring. They'll need to get to the 5 to do so. 2nd and 4, 11:27 to go here in the second quarter. A little bit of confusion. Blaine Stansberry barking out signals. What's the call? It's a pass. And take a shot to the left side. Presley on a comeback, catches it. Are his feet in? Oh, yeah, they're in. And that's 6 points on the board for the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
Will Presley there, very impressive. He got into the end zone, broke to the left. Just as he made his break, Blaine Stansberry had already let go of the ball. It hit him right in the numbers. The Wildcats get on the board.
Almost the exact same play as their 4th down conversion attempt that they were not on the same page of 2 drives ago. That time, though, they were very much on the same page, and it's 6 points for the boys in, well, not much Cardinal, mostly gray tonight. Here's Pearson's kick, held by Washington, snapped by Hibben. All 3 were good, and so is the extra point. We're tied at 7 with 11:15 to go. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
How long was that pass?
It was at the 9.
9, that's what I thought. I was just making
Second,
sure.
4 from the 9. I mean, seriously, what is a man supposed to do with his Diet Coke? Just totally.
Here, let me have
No,
it.
no. Just.
Let me have it just for
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Here.
I got it now.
All right.
Every
I was-
last one
I
of them
was
in that
gonna
cooler are
fix it.
like that.
I don't understand that at all. I got me some.
What do you think about me just going into a Diet Coke rant on air?
Whatever.
I'm sure Dave was shaking his head at that. It was really great radio.
Anything to fill airtime.
Well, we can do that. We got no. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Wildcats tie it up at 7. 11:15 to go in the first half. Pearson to kick. His back is at Jackson Square towards Razzleberries. He will be kicking the deep man back for Clinton. Senior running back Elijah Davidson. He won't have a shot at it. Why? It goes into and through the back of the end zone. Never touched a piece of the Cardinal turf. What a weapon Eli Pearson is. We talk about it every week, but a lot of times the specialty players, the punters, kickers, they don't get enough credit. And Coach Rang bragged about him on our Wednesday night show. He is such a valuable piece of this team.
I tell you, Eli Pearson gets such a great lift on the ball when he kicks it. It gets really high. It gets up into the wind like it did that time and carried right through the end zone. Great weapon, Eli Pearson.
So 11:15 again to go in the second quarter. Clinton trots out their offense from their own 20-yard line, right in the middle between the two hashes. Benjamin in the backfield. His tailback at this point in the ball game is Travian Bounds, the senior. Thick kid. They're going to give the handoff to Riker Arms. He's going to cut it up. Oak Ridge might have got away with a little bit of a face mask, but really didn't make a difference. He was wrapped up and going down anyways. And it looks like J.T. Gormley made the tackle, and they'll give him the line of scrimmage, so a gain of nothing on first down. And you got to think Riker Arms coming into this hostile environment, you got to think that he wants to make some plays tonight. As a former Wildcat guy who grew up in Oak Ridge, played on the last two Wildcat teams, and as a junior has transferred to Clinton. 2nd and 10, two receivers left, quarterback looks right. He finds Maddox, he bobbles it, but finally makes the catch, and he is slammed down by Dallas Frint. Does not get the first down. It was a nice pickup of 8, but Maddox gets Clinton closer to the sticks. Now, if you're Clinton, you haven't had you had one big play rushing. Other than that, you really haven't been able to get anything going. Do you risk running the ball right here on 3rd and 2, or do you stick with the passing game that you've had a little more success with?
I don't know. I look for them to run the ball. That's what they seem to be doing all night long. Well, let's see here. Big down for the Dragon.
3rd and 2, handoff, quick hand on the middle, and that's Davidson. I like that play. They found a lot of success. What happens, the man lines up as an H-back right behind the tackle, comes backwards in motion, gets the handoff, and then just plants his foot and goes right behind the center's backside. And doesn't necessarily always get a lot of yards, but that time he only needed 2. I like the play design from Clinton.
Yeah, Elijah Davidson there on the carry for the Dragon. Good move by him going horizontal to get up and then cut up the field and get a big first down for the Dragon. Brings up 1st and 10 on the Wildcat 33.
On the Dragon 33.
The Dragon 30.
9:33 to go. No, you're fine. I just didn't want people to get confused if they're not watching. Here comes a fake pitch. They're going to hand off to Davidson again across the 35-40, and a great tackle by Oak Ridge's Wayne Gibson stops that one. If Wayne doesn't make that tackle with the head of speed that Davidson have, I don't know that he's not still running.
Yeah, you've got that right. Because if he hadn't got him, I didn't see anybody else anywhere around him. Good tackle by Wayne Gibson. But it still gained 8 yards on that carry.
9 minutes to go before halftime. 2nd down, 2 yards, a long 2 yards to gain. Quarterback barking out signals, nearly a false start as Arms got the hit. Arms, there's a fumble. The ball's on the field. Who has it? The crowd will tell you. It's Oak Ridge football. Wayne Gibson recovered the fumble. It actually was Porter. The ball hit Arms on the arm as he was coming in motion. I don't think it was intended for him. I think the center snapped it and the timing was off. And boy, what a break for the Wildcat defense.
It hit the running back right in the side of the helmet and bounced right toward Oak Ridge. And Oak Ridge got a big break right there. Turnover for the Wildcats.
So after not having any takeaways through the first 3 games last week, Oak Ridge picked McMinn County off 2 times. Here early, we talked on Wednesday with Coach Rang, and he thought that could be something that could sort of be momentous and roll over, and sure enough it did. Oak Ridge gets a turnover, and they're set up in great field position. 1st and 10 from the Dragon 40. Flea flicker up the middle, tossed back to Blaine. Blaine going deep for Presley, and it's just over his outstretched arms. Like the play call, just a little bit too far. I thought it looked like Will was fighting through some contact that might have slowed him down, but not enough for an interference call.
Yeah, Will broke away, but that pass was just a little bit overthrown that time. But Blaine still had plenty of time to get the pass off. It just wasn't meant to be. Now it brings up 2nd down for the Wildcats.
I almost think, and it's hard for me to nitpick a flea flicker, but I think the running back, maybe if he holds on it for just a half a second longer, he almost immediately tossed it back, and maybe that could have helped. I don't know. Just good coverage from Clinton. Let's not take anything away from them. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Handoff middle. Goes to Porter. He's going to squirt for the left side. Cross the 1st down, and much, much more. 10-5. Touchdown for number 8. 6 points on the board. Demillion Porter from 39 yards out. And with 8:25 to go, Oak Ridge takes the lead.
Great job that time. Big hole opened up, and he just ran it right up the middle. A great play by the Wildcat, and get back in the lead for the first time tonight, 13-7.
Beautiful blocking up front and a great patient run from Porter, as there wasn't a lot there initially, but the left tackle, Bafford, and the left guard, Young, sealed the edge, and once they got through, there was nobody there. Kick is good, but there is a penalty, so we'll keep it right here just for a moment. We'll see who the penalty is on. If it's on Oak Ridge, they may have to retry this extra point. And I know David Clary is going, go to break, go to break, go to break, but we don't know the call.
Tonight, we would like to welcome members of the class of '84.
We'd like to remind you that
celebrating the 40th reunion.
At halftime, it's homecoming ceremonies. We'll present those to you, as well as the Hall of Fame inductees. As a class of 1989 touchdown on the heels of a class, or a tin bank of Oak Ridge first down. Thanks to all our sponsors, 1989, that class does so much for this Wildcat football program and for the high school in general. Here comes the long-awaited call from the official. The extra point is good. Something I couldn't understand the call on the field, and it didn't affect it. So it will unfortunately be added to this kickoff. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout, Brian. That sucks. That just took a timeout away from us because we thought they were going to redo it, and nothing.
Personal foul against the Dragons. Assist on the kickoff.
Think he gets this through the uprights?
Pearson to kick off.
So the personal foul was the call against Clinton. So Eli Pearson will kick off after the 15-yard penalty is added. He will kick off from the Dragon 45. Now, if you were one to wager, I am not. A solid wager might be, can he get this thing through the uprights and get a field goal here?
Exactly.
And let's see. I've always been a fan of, hey, if your kicker can do it, it should be points. Here comes.
It should be, but it's not. But it would be interesting if he did it.
Here comes. Wow, he's pooch kicks this down to the 5-yard line. Oak Ridge going to try to pin Clinton back. Fielded at the 5, across the 10 to the 15, and Riker Arms is going to be dragged down at the 15-yard line on the near side Clinton hash. And there's some celebration after the play, and it looks like the flag that was thrown is going to be on Oak Ridge, unfortunately. So you do all that gamesmanship after the penalty on Clinton to pin them back deep in their own territory, and it's all for naught. And that is on a guy for Oak Ridge who plays with his emotions on his sleeve. And sometimes that can be a great weapon, and sometimes it can hurt you. That time it hurt Oak Ridge. So instead of Clinton starting this drive from their own 15-yard line, they will now start at 1st and 10 from their own 30. This has been a wild and wacky game, and both sides really hurting themselves with self-inflicted penalties.
Yeah, each team's got more than enough penalties already here early in the second quarter. 8:13 left. Wildcats leading 14-7.
Tight formation from the shotgun once again is Clinton. In the backfield, quarterback Jalen Benjamin and junior running back Jackson Harrell. Harrell, a big bruising back. One receiver split to either side, an H-back in the field. Here's Benjamin, going to take a deep shot. Good arm on the left side. Fighting for the ball is Maddox. He held on to the ball. Were his feet in bounds? They were. It was not good, not great. Terrific coverage from Quivez Williams. I don't know how Bryson Maddox caught that ball. I really don't. It was great coverage from Williams. And he's saying my bad, but, buddy, that's just a heck of a play by one of the best receivers in all of the state. What a play.
I agree, Alec. That was a very impressive catch because the defense was there. They were all over him, and he still managed to catch the ball and fall out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 quickly on Oak Ridge territory after one play. 1st and 10 from the 35, running back to Davidson. The run goes to the Davidson, and it looks like Maddox ripped the helmet off of Williams, and here comes a penalty. So now Clinton, again, after Oak Ridge gets a personal foul, now Clinton is going to shoot themselves in the foot. Just not a very clean ball game from either side right now, and I compliment the officiating crew because, again, I don't think I've seen a single bad call out there. These teams are doing it to themselves.
Yeah, they're getting kind of chippy out there with each other. They're running their mouth too much or celebrating too much or, jumping off sides, and it's just not in sync like they should be, Alec. It's costing both these teams. Personal foul against Clinton, a face mask. How does that happen? A face mask on the offense?
Well,
you don't see that very often.
No, I guess usually you hear hands to the face, but regardless, it's a 15-yard penalty, and just like that, Clinton had the ball one play ago, 1st and 10 from the Oak Ridge 35-yard line. And now, after they got a 2-yard gain on first down, after the second down penalty, it is 2nd and 18. Or excuse me, 2nd and 23. 7:44 to go here in the second quarter. Clinton down, trailing the Wildcats 14-7, trying to respond. Here comes a pass. Left side for Maddox. He catches it at the 39, across the 40, makes Oak Ridge defenders miss, gets a first down. He might score. 25-20, not a soul in this stadium will catch him. He's into the end zone, and Clinton is an extra point away from tying this one at 14 apiece. Mike, it cannot be overstated. I know we're sounding redundant and repetitive, but he is the man for them, and he is as advertised and maybe even more early in this ballgame. 2 quick scores for Maddox, and he's got all 14 of Clinton's points.
Well, that was just a beautiful 48-yard touchdown catch and run by Bryson Maddox. And a really good pass that time from Jalen Benjamin, and the Wildcats now are getting ready to be tied up as the extra points forthcoming. It is up and good. Now this game is tied 14-14.
Let's send it to the station, Brian. We're going to take a 60-second timeout, and we'll come back with more football from Oak Ridge. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan with you tonight. David Clary, executive producing remotely from Atlanta, where he says, "Go Braves." Brian Bennett back in the studio producing. It's 14-14. And after this play, I want to ask you about something regarding that last Clinton touchdown, Mike. Wobbly punt or kickoff fielded at the 38. Angel takes it across to the 44. And a nice job by Angel getting what he could before Clinton came out. He is not happy with something that happened at the end of that play. The refs, now there's a Clinton Dragon way over into the Oak Ridge sideline, and there's a penalty. Will Presley not happy? Obviously a dangerous place to be if you're one man on the far sideline. You know, Mike, this is a deal. David Clary bringing up a good point. The officials typically call this Oak Ridge-Clinton game very tight, and I understand why, because, you know, this is a game that it doesn't take much to make this chippy. There's a flag on the play. Again, it came out when the Clinton player, for I don't know what reason, all of a sudden appeared amidst a bunch of Oak Ridge players on the Oak Ridge sideline.
Elijah Davidson, for whatever reason, kind of went after Adam Washington and out of bounds. The play was already over. I don't quite understand what that was all about.
Well, this is going to either help Oak Ridge or help Clinton in a big way, because whatever it is, it's going to be a personal foul, I think, and which would be obviously a 15-yard penalty. The ball sits right now at the Oak Ridge 44-yard line, where it's 1st and 10. Will it be 1st and 10 from their own 29, or will the Wildcats cross midfield? Lengthy discussion. We could have taken another break had we known, but here comes the call. So we thought.
Might be offsetting penalties. I'm kind of hoping it is. I don't really know, Alec.
Well, I'm not. That's one of the more pointless things in sports is offsetting penalties. Make the call, and that's not only is it not offsetting, they're apparently just going to wave the flag. So after throwing a flag, they don't even have an explanation. They didn't even pick it up and wave it off like they typically would. So that's my first complaint of the night for the officials, and if you've listened to a broadcast I'm on before, that likely won't be my last. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Oak Ridge just shy of midfield after the Angel return on the short kickoff from Clinton. 7:15 to go as Oak Ridge kind of gets their wits about them, and you can't let those emotions take too much of a roll. Here comes a roll out to the right. Stansberry taking a deep shot. He's got Jimerson. Can he catch it? He will. 20, 15, wrestled down at the 12-yard line. A big play. And a 10 bank of Oak Ridge. 1st down. Will Presley gets the attention, but it was Jimerson that time running wide open downfield.
And another late flag on that play, Alec. It's getting really chippy out here tonight. What a great play by Jimerson and a super pass by Blaine Stansberry.
I didn't see what happened. Coach Rang is talking to Demillion Porter, who is coming off the field. And now we got another coach talking to him right now. That's Zach Kasner, former Wildcat. So I'm not sure, but based off body language, it would appear that this might be against Oak Ridge. The good news would be, I think, it would be after the catch. So it would be a 1st down. But again, if this is on Oak Ridge, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Another lengthy discussion, and I don't understand. Now, Will Presley is clapping, so that might lead you to believe that it's on Clinton. And I know this is not good radio, so I apologize, but unfortunately, when the officials take this much time, all we can do is speculate. Here comes the call.
Oh, it was an awfully late flag.
Offsetting penalties.
Yeah.
So it'll be 1st down.
Like I said, they're fighting each other tonight or talking trash or something. You can't tell from way up here, but...
Well, I'd love to see the Wildcats fight to get into the end zone here. It's tied 14-14, 7:05 to go in the second quarter. It will be 1st and 10 from the Dragon 19-yard line after a big play from Stansberry to Jimerson, probably Jimerson's longest catch of the year, and now they're going to move the line of scrimmage back. Guys, we got to figure this out. 1st and 10 from the 26, they say. So we've had 2 flags thrown on this drive on consecutive plays and exactly 0 yards marked off. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And now there's another stoppage of play. This is, and I apologize, ladies and gentlemen listening, this is terrible radio. But have you ever seen a game with just this? There's just no flow to it. And I'm sure as an athlete and a coach, it's hard to get in a rhythm. Here we go. That stop was, again, I don't know why. But now we're going to play ball. 1st and 10 from the 26. Stansberry hands it off, running back 20, 15. Going to try to make a move. Gets past one defender, but not past the next. And for Oak Ridge, that's Jamichael Howard with his first, I think it's the first time he's touched the ball all game, but it's a very successful play. Great hole opened up on that right side. Malachi Bonner and Ethan Eubanks, right guard and right tackle, opened up a gaping hole that you could have fit through and I could have fit through. And, boy, Howard doesn't need a lot of space to make a play. At that time, he had quite a bit. It's 1st and 10, a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down at the 12-yard line. So important to note that the Wildcats could get a first down without crossing the plane. Another discussion by the officials, and finally they're going to signal, let's start the clock. I agree. 1st and 10 from the 12. High snap fielded by Blaine, and he's going to hand it off to Jermichael Howard again, who gets a nice push from the center, the left guard, and they're going to get it. I think they're going to call this a gain of 6. So it'll be 2nd and 4. Ball on the 7-yard line. Again, 2nd and 5, we'll say. Ball on the 7-yard line. If they get to the 2-yard line, the Wildcats can have a 1st and goal here. I think, Mike, it's maybe not the most exciting thing, but I think right here you just feed the hot hand. Give it to the running back and let your offensive line do what they're doing.
Well, the line's blocking really well right now. They're getting a great push up front, opening a big hole.
Here comes another Howard give. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hurdles a man at the 1, and he's into the end zone. Jermichael Howard, touchdown, Wildcats, and they retake the lead 20-14 with 5:51 left before half.
Gotta love it. It's a great play call there by the Wildcats. A good, getting repetitive, but great blocking up front by the Wildcats to open that big, huge hole. He ran it in from 7 yards out.
And it will be Pearson on for the extra point attempt. Adam Washington to hold, TJ Hibben to snap. Snap good, hold even better. Kick, perfection. 21-14 with 5:51 to play in the second quarter. We're going to take a 60-second timeout from Blankenship Field.
Glad to get that. Real glad to get that.
If either team could stop and just shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, exactly. The penalties.
Both teams are kind of giving the game a bit.
Yeah, these penalties are hurting us.
Thank you, corporate sponsors.
Freshman Logan Keener back deep to receive in this first rivalry game he's played between these two teams. Eli Pearson to kick. Head coach is Derek Rain for the Wildcats. Assistant coaches, former Wildcats, James Branson, Kevin McKeithen, Ricky Chitwood, Ted Mitchell, Kevin Day, Daniel Pace, David Hawkins, Eric Thomas, Zach Kasner, Lateran Thomas, that's Bam Thomas as the players call him, and Mike Kelly. Almost every single one of those a former Wildcat. This game means so much to them. The kicker, Eli Pearson, knocks that one out of the back of the end zone. Mike, we were talking during the break, if either one of these teams can just stop harming themselves with self-inflicted penalties, this game could get out of hand, but both teams kind of keeping each other in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's been a lot more penalties than I wish there were. You know, we need to clean up our act, and so does Clinton. That, you know, this is football. You get emotional sometimes. These rivalries, you get a little bit too carried away. I think that's where we're at right now.
5:51 to go here in the second quarter as Clinton kind of gingerly, just as a group, walks onto the field. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Quarterback is Benjamin. Got one man behind him pistol formation, handoff right side. A lot of heavy blockers that way. And making a great diving tackle is cornerback Jarrell Jimerson. He turned what ended up being looking like it could have been about an 8 or 9 yard gain into a 5-yard gain. So a good, positive, productive play on first down for the Dragons, but a nice play by Jimerson to stop it at 5.
Yeah, it definitely was. He got out there as quick as he could, but not before he gained, 4 yards. Brings up second down and 6 now from the 24-yard line.
5:19 to go here in the second quarter. 2nd and 6, they'll call it, from the 24, as you just mentioned a moment ago. Everybody in tight. One lone receiver on the wide side of the field. That's the left side towards Clinton. Clinton sticking with this heavy package. Option right, quarterback's going to keep it across the 25, and he is blasted by 2 guys. One is J.T. Gormley, and the other for Oak Ridge is number 3, Malik Howard. Malik, we've seen him make a lot of plays as a tight end, but boy, he is a special talent at defensive end as well. His length is a major problem for offenses.
He gained nothing on that play. Good penetration that time by Howard and JT to get in there and make that stop.
Hudson Lee, T. Ray Threet, and Tim Walters, the 3 down linemen for Oak Ridge. Malik Howard's going to come in off a blitz. Here comes the reverse to Clinton, and it's going nowhere except right back to the line of scrimmage. Luckily for Clinton, they're going to call him for a gain of 1. It was Bo Wright, the senior wide receiver, starter for this team. Nice play design, but Oak Ridge had that one sniffed out. So Oak Ridge is probably their best defensive stand of the night. 3 and out for the Dragons, and they're got to send the punt unit
Dallas Frent there on the stop for the Wildcat. Gained nothing again, so now bringing down 4th down, and they're going to punt from the 26-yard line. Actually, he's going to be punting from about the 12-yard line.
That's where his heels are.
Get good field position.
That's where his heels are. Jarrell Jimerson with his heels at the 42. It's a fake, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to call it a gain of 1. The only problem with that, if you're a Dragon fan, you needed 4. You got 1. So Oak Ridge takes over with 4:09 to go before half with very short field position. Ball will be placed at the 27-yard line. So Oak Ridge takes over with great field position. Kind of a questionable play call right there. You've got a good punter, and you decide to fake it.
Yeah, Walter sniffed that out in a hurry. A big interior lineman, he stood his blocker up and slid to the right and got in the hole and made the stop. Now we've got a really good field position from their own 28. That might cost Clinton right there, Alec.
Rush Douglas into the ball game. Demillion Porter back into the ball game after he was taken out last drive. Douglas at H-back. Wide receivers to the right, Will Presley, Jarrell Jimerson. 1 man to the left, that's Malik Howard. Fake left, throw to Howard on the right side. Catches it at the 24, makes a man miss down to the 15, 10, and he's shoved out of bounds, nearly tiptoed his way into the end zone. There was nobody in front of him, but he just couldn't keep his balance. Nice play by the Dragon defender to push him out, but not before he gets into the red zone and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down and a first and goal from the 8-yard line for Oak Ridge with 4:01 to play before half.
Well, I hate to say this out loud, but there's another flag on the play. This one may be coming back.
Well, there's a shock. Boy, they're not quick to make any of these calls. Illegal man downfield is the call. And again, I'm not saying these officials have been inaccurate, but they have been active. Ineligible receiver downfield, so one of the linemen, and couldn't really hear exactly what number he said. They do have the officials mic'd up at Blankenship Field, which is a nice touch. However, this official is not the most boisterous, loudest guy. Mike, if we were down there on the microphone, they'd hear us. I'll tell you that much.
I guarantee you they definitely would. And, Blaine, that was another great pass to Malik. The touch that Blaine Stansbury has is amazing. And Malik's such a big, tall, strong receiver. He made it look great.
First down and 15, handoff left side to Porter. He's going to get met at the 30, but they cannot bring him down until he gets down to the 27. So it's going to be 2nd and 9. Well, no. more like 2nd and 7, but Clinton wants a timeout. We'll take one with him. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back after this.
We would like to thank Oak Ridge Pharmacy for their support of Oak Ridge High School athletics. Oak Ridge Pharmacy is a local pharmacy dedicated to your family's health. Located at 854 Main Street West, you can purchase general admission tickets for home games each week, Tuesday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you, Oak Ridge Pharmacy.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Let's kind of reset things here and get a grasp on what's going on. It's 21-14. Oak Ridge leading Clinton. Clinton had a 4th and 4 on their last drive, backed up in their own territory, decided to fake the punt, only gained 1 yard. It was not enough for the first down, so the Wildcats took over, and after a couple of penalties and a little bit of a shaky start to this drive, it's 2nd and 8 from the Dragon 26-yard line with 3:25 to go. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. It's Howard. Size mismatch on that one. Blaine's going to look that way. He's going to throw that way. Howard into the end zone, cannot make the leaping one-handed catch, as it looked like he broke that route a little bit inside, and I think Blaine was throwing it more to the outside, a little bit of a miscommunication.
Yeah, the ball was just a little bit too high even for Howard to catch that one. So it falls incomplete, brings up now 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats at the 26. We need a big play right here, Alec, get this first down and get into the end zone and be more comfortable going into halftime. Only ahead 21-14 with 3:19 left.
A calm, probably 2 to 3 mile an hour wind at their backs.
Clinton
might
ball.
think field goal position. However, it might not matter, because the Clinton Dragons, on a great hard count from Blaine Stansberry, draws 2 Clinton Dragon defenders across the line of scrimmage and into the neutral zone. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's not enough for a first down, but it does make a more manageable 3rd down situation. It goes from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3. Ball at the 21-yard line, needing to get to the 19.
Now for a first down.
3:19 to play here before half. I'm thinking it's a DeMillion Porter handoff. Another hard count. Clinton doesn't fall for it this time. Oak Ridge changes the play. Coach Rang, Coach Branson down there signaling the calls in. Here's the snap. Here's the give up. The right tackle to Porter. Cuts back left across the 20-yard line, and he has enough for the first down, and that pile is still moving. The 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the Clinton Dragon 13-yard line. When you hit DeMillion Porter, you got to make sure you get him down with several guys, because when you hit him, he's still driving forward.
Alec, he was dragging 3 people with him that time. They stopped him right at the first down marker. He just kept driving and got 3 more. Great job by Porter to get all the way up to the 14-yard line.
1st and 10 again from the 14-yard line. They moved it back a yard. 2:47 to go in this one. Wildcats, no need to be in a hurry. Option. Quick pitch to the right to Porter from Blaine. He stutter steps, gets across the 10, and tackled. Is he in bounds? If you're Oak Ridge, you want to be in bounds. Run a little more of this clock. He is in bounds, and he gets a gain of 7. So it'll be 2nd and 3 from the 12-yard line. If you're an Oak Ridge, no need to snap this ball with anything but less than 10 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, Blaine did a good job of waiting to pitch that ball until the would-be tackler came up on Blaine, and he pitched it right out, and Jameson got a good run on that play.
Handoff, left side, Porter makes one man miss and is tackled just beyond the 5-yard line, somewhere in between the 4 and the 5. It will be a first down for the Wildcats if the play stands, but as you hear Mike Sheehan sigh, there's a flag on the play. DeMillion Porter shaken up on the play. Looks like he's holding his hand. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Jermichael Howard will come in to spell him at running back.
Like he fell on the ball and hurt himself.
Boy, these officials get in zero hurry to make the call. I don't know if they're having a cup of coffee or what takes so long. Personal foul against Clinton, so it's not a huge penalty for them, because With the ball being at the 4, it's half the distance. So now it'll be first and goal for the Wildcats at the 2. With 2:12 to go here before halftime. Presley, Jimerson, and Washington in at wideout for Oak Ridge. Jermichael Howard in at running back. Howard, the H-back. Blaine Stansberry, the quarterback, from left to right. Left tackle, it's Bafford, then Young. At center, it's TJ Hibben. At right guard, Malachi Bonner. And at right tackle, Ethan Eubanks. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Handoff up the middle, no. Blaine's going to keep it. Fooled everybody, including me. Bowls his shoulder down, runs over a defender, shakes it off, and he's across the goal line. Blaine Stansberry showing some strength on that touchdown run.
That was just a beautiful play call. I mean, he had everybody fooled. He got outside and actually bounced off a would-be defender and rolled into the end zone for the 3-yard score, put the Wildcats up 27-14.
Blaine, a young kid, a junior who is what you want in a quarterback. He doesn't play with a ton of emotion that's visible. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. As shocker, there was some sort of a penalty called against Oak Ridge, I think. So now we'll make this extra point a little bit further back. But it's not often that you see him just get really visibly fired up with the body language. That time, after running over a defender, Blaine Stansberry was fired up. It'll be Hibben on the snap, Adam Washington to hold, and Pearson to kick the extra point. They signal something against Oak Ridge. Maybe it was a sideline warning because there's no penalty yardage being marked off. Here's the snap, here's the hold, here's the kick. And 60 seconds from now, we'll be back to Blankenship Field to close out the half. Thank you to Laura Lynn Green, who's sponsoring our halftime and postgame show. We hope you stay tuned for both of those tonight and every night that we're on the air this fall. Also appreciate our sponsors. So David Clary does basketball and baseball, and what a lot of people don't understand is, for the most part, the sponsors that sponsor football, the money that they provide helps to fund the ability to get these broadcasts on the air for not just football, but for all the other sports as well. So please go out and support those sponsors. Without that support for these local, most of them local small businesses, without their support, you wouldn't be listening to us tonight or watching or however you're consuming this broadcast. So thank you to all those sponsors. 1:43 to go before half. Pearson approaches. Pearson boots a squib kick. The penalty was assessed on the kickoff. It's fielded at the 20, across the 30, across the 40, at the 45, and he's finally bounced out of bounds. That's Davidson, who runs through the fence and into a cheerleader. Thankfully, everybody seems to be okay. As this time Davidson, last time he was on the Oak Ridge sideline, there was some little drama. This time he runs right back onto the field, and Oak Ridge coaching staff over there to make sure nobody's doing anything dumb. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Clinton, but, with 1:36 to go, down by 2 possessions, you would think that Clinton would like to be aggressive here, and why not? 1st and 10 from their own 46. Mike, they're just 4 yards from being into Oak Ridge territory.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and Maddox in there, he worries me. He's a really good receiver. And I'll tell you, Benjamin's done a good job of getting him the ball. So they're a team to be reckoned with, without a doubt.
Down by 14, trailing 28-14. Here's Clinton, 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle, and there's flags before the play. Most of the time, that signals a false start.
I think it was. Clinton got offsides again.
Call much quicker this time. We appreciate that. It is a false no. Lined up in the neutral zone for Oak Ridge, and so I'm kind of surprised that they didn't let that one go and give Clinton a free play, but regardless, Oak Ridge penalized 5 yards, and so now they will start this drive in Oak Ridge territory, plus territory, as a lot of coaches say, meaning you're beyond the 50-yard line. At the Oak Ridge 49, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball is on the right hash as Clinton is facing Jackson Square and Big Ed's Pizza. Here comes the handoff up the right side. Davidson across the 45 down to the 40 in first down territory. He gets across the first down marker and gains about 8 more yards. First and 10 from the Dragons upcoming from their Wildcat 36. 1:27 to go. Clock is stopped momentarily. Once the chains are spotted, the clock will resume. And here's an important factor. Both teams only have 1 timeout, so Clinton wants to save that timeout, so they have to move quickly here. Clock is counting, under 1:20 to go. Receiver moves right to left, setting up a screen. Are they going to find him? They are. Catches it at the 38, makes one man miss, makes another, and he's got near first down yardage again. They're going to call him out after a gain of about 9.5. It was a quick little flip pass out to Bo Wright. You could see it coming from a mile away, but you know, Oak Ridge they were there in position, Mike, but as we've seen the Wildcats do 2 or 3 times now, unfortunately in this ball game, they were there and just couldn't make the tackle.
No, he made a miss by his moves. He got outside and broke free and got a big first down. Now they moved the ball all the way down to the 27-yard line. 2nd down and 1.
Man in motion left to right, handoff up the middle to Davidson. He's going to get enough for the first down. He needed about 1 yard, and he got 2. So it'll be 1st and 10 Dragons from the Wildcat 25-yard line. 59.8 seconds on the clock. Referee signals, and the official started the clock. 55 seconds to go as Clinton breaks their short huddle. 2 receivers to either side of the quarterback. That's Benjamin in the backfield. Davidson, the running back. Man sends in motion from left to right. Benjamin going to throw a dangerous pass on the right side. And Wayne Gibson absolutely blasted Maddox, who was in the air. There's a flag on the play initially, which leads me to think it was an interference call, potentially against Quivez Williams, who I thought was defending the play pretty well. But then there's a penalty after the play, and here is a very, very important tidbit. Maddox was called for a personal foul. And I think it was just a face mask, not a personal foul, because Maddox, after the play, shoved an Oak Ridge player right there, so there is a second penalty on that play.
Yeah, there's 2 flags down, you're right.
If they were to have called that a personal foul on Maddox earlier in the game, that would have been his second. He would have been out of there. I think the fact that it was a hands to the face call instead of a personal foul earlier is going to save him and leave him with eligibility in the second half, which is huge, vitally important for Clinton. We'll have to see. I'm speculating that it is on Maddox, but he was the one who kind of threw. Yeah, and it is a personal foul. So that's something to watch. Maddox has been kind of feisty. If he gets another one, Mike, he won't be able to remain in this game, and Clinton desperately needs him to do so. Absolutely. Now, let's see. The Clinton's running up to the line of scrimmage, and that can't be right. There was 2 penalties on the play. So I would assume it would be a replay of down, but they might say that 1 penalty came after the play. So, again, unfortunately, we're up here kind of playing a guessing game. Mike, both of these coaches, no matter win or loss, they're not going to be happy with the amount of penalties. And this, we're just 1/2 into this game. We still got 2 more quarters to play.
Yeah, I think this one's against the Dragon, and it's going to come back this way, Alec. I'm not sure. There's a lot of discussion going on with these officials tonight, as officials are having a private discussion with Maddox right now, the head official.
Well, David Clary, who unable to be with us, but he's executively producing from Atlanta, he says that the second penalty actually was also on Oak Ridge. So I didn't see it, but perhaps whatever Oak Ridge did is why Maddox reacted the way he did. So there's been 2 times where I thought Maddox was getting a personal foul, and it appears that he doesn't have any. So now they've moved the ball back, and now they're moving it back forward again. So now they're going to step it off for the 3rd time, half the distance from the 11. So the ball will be at the 6.5-yard line. So apologies, Mr. Maddox. I thought he was guilty. and the officials determined that Oak Ridge was guilty. So Maddox, a guy who's had a big game, is now one-on-one versus Quivez Williams. Boy, Oak Ridge hurting themselves in a big way with these penalties. First and goal from the 6, 42 seconds to go before half. Clinton plenty of time with one timeout remaining. Here comes the handoff up the middle. Thought they might have fumbled, but no. Carson Nivens makes the play in the backfield, a loss of 1. They're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. Clinton takes a timeout. We'll take a quick one with him, a 30-second timeout from Blankenship Field. They're putting Will into the game, I think. At corner, get a little more height.
I saw you talking to Jason on the show. You did a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I had fun doing it.
Wednesday night. That's that transfer from Oliver Springs, didn't it? Yeah, I thought so. Sure wish we could hold him right here.
Do what? Do what?
I said, I wish we could hold him right here. Hopefully we can. Go into the half with a 2-touchdown lead instead of 1.
Successful half for Oak Ridge so far. It's not been a clean half, but the Clinton Dragons are threatening to make this a one-score ball game before half. 32 seconds to go before the break. It's 28-14. We want to encourage you to stay tuned to the Lorland Green State Farm halftime show. Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame inductees as well as the homecoming court will be announced. First or second and goal from the 6-yard line for Clinton, trying to make this a one-score game. Looking at Maddox, now looking to the corner, in and out of the hands of Riker Arms. They faked to Maddox. The defense drew their attention towards him. It left Riker all alone at the 3-yard line. He turned to catch the ball, and he's got his head down. Unfortunately for him, that's probably one he should have caught, Mike. A missed opportunity for Clinton. If you're Oak Ridge, you need to take advantage of that missed opportunity because it should be a 7-point game right now.
He got a lot of pressure that time from Wayne Gibson. Wayne was all over him and broke up that pass.
Will Presley into the ball game at cornerback. I like the substitution here. They're trying to get a little more height on Maddox, who stands about 6'4". Maddox into the end zone, in and out of his hands, no good. On third down, they target Maddox. Will Presley was all over him. Somehow, Benjamin squeezed that ball between two defenders, and it did look like it hit Maddox, but unfortunately, unable to haul that one down for Clinton. Clinton keeps their offense on the field. You hear the Wildcat roaring in the background. 25 seconds to go. A huge pivotal play in this region ball game. Oak Ridge up 28-14. Again, 25 seconds to go. 4th and goal from the 6. Clinton trailing by 2 scores, desperately needing this before half. They will receive to start the second half. 2 receivers to the right. Maddox, the lone receiver, to the near side, the left side. Man in motion is Arms. High snap, fielded by Benjamin. Benjamin rockets one to the right side. In and out of the end zone, incomplete. Will Presley, Jimerson, Wayne Gibson, and Tyree Porter, the defensive backs. Outstanding coverage on 4th and goal. T-Ray Threet, who's played really well the past couple of games for Oak Ridge, shaken up on the play, but thankfully he's going to walk off. But he looks like he is in some pain. What a stop right there, Mike. That is a game-changing stop for the Oak Ridge defense.
It certainly is. Just good pressure defense that time by the Wildcats. I mean, they were all over the Dragons that time. That pass had no chance of being completed because of excellent defense by the Wildcats. So they turned it over on downs with 21.7 seconds. Ball on the 5-yard line.
And I think that ball may have been tipped at the line. I'm not sure who it was. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. Oak Ridge wants one. We'll take one with them. We'll be back in just a moment.
Is that right? Wayne Gibson stole, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's who tipped that ball. Huh?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, he tipped it.
I want you to say that when we come back.
Okay.
Halftime show presented by Laura Lynn Green. And State Farm Insurance is coming up in about 21 seconds. 21.7 seconds to be exact. That's what's on the clock. Oak Ridge got to be safe here. Up 28-14. They will have to kick to Clinton to start the second half. Lane Stansberry is in the backfield, and it looks like he's going to take a knee, but unfortunately for him, he's in the shotgun, so you can't lose yards right here. Clinton can't stop the clock, so all he needs to do is snap it, fall to his knee. He does just that, and that's the half. It's 28-14. Oak Ridge leads Clinton. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have halftime festivities from Blankenship Field. Sorry, I totally forgot about that.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not.
That is the end of the first half.
We dodged a big bullet right there, you know?
Big bun.
Good defense there, D, and a great defensive stand.
Said they need a microphone.
Thank you. Not back with us, but those of you watching via live stream, we welcome you into the halftime show.
Start now. Each year, the senior class nominates candidates for the homecoming court. This list was narrowed down to 5 young men and 5 young ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 homecoming court is Miss Janiyah Booker and Mr. Raekwon Watson. Miss Carly Brown and Mr. Aiden Clements. Miss Emma Chesson and Mr. Zachary Ibanez. Miss Madeline Luby and Mr. Stan Honus. Miss Zanaya Stewart and Mr. Cooper Williams. Dayana. Today, the entire student body voted for the homecoming king and queen, and we would now like to share those results with you. And now we would like to share those results with you. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Homecoming King is Raekwon Watson. And your 2024 Homecoming Queen is Carly Brown. Congratulations to Raekwon and Carly and all the 2024 Homecoming Court members. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the halftime ceremony.
Congratulations to both of those, including Wildcat basketball player Raekwon Watson, Cooper Williams, another member of the Wildcat basketball team, as part of the court. And now hand the mic off to Lyndon Hurt, who's got the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame class of 2024 inductees.
Tonight, the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame will announce their annual scholarship award winner and induct 3 new members into the Hall of Fame. The winner of this year's $500 scholarship, which is awarded to an Oak Ridge High School senior athlete, is Frankie Orteza. Frankie is a member of the football team and has a GPA of 4.281. Congratulations, Frankie. Should we do him first or last? Our first inductee into the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame is Sarah Damon. Sarah is a 2001 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. Sarah excelled in the running sports while she was a Wildcat. She was a 5-time state champion. Sarah won the Tennessee State Championship in the 1,600 meter twice and the 3,200 meter run twice. She was also the Tennessee State champion in the cross country. Sarah still owns the Oak Ridge High School record for the 3,200 meters and the 4x800 meter relay. After her high school career, she would sign to run at Belmont University, where she would continue to excel on the track and in cross country, earning multiple awards in both sports. While at Belmont, Sarah also was awarded the President's Female Scholar Athlete of the Year in 2004. Sarah is still running, actively competing in marathons, Ironman competitions, and Ultra Ironman competitions. How about a big round of applause for Sarah Damon? Start now. Our second inductee is John Sharp. John is a 2010 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. John, known for his outstanding work ethic, was a multiple All-State runner. He would win the Tennessee State Championship in cross country in 2009, becoming only the second male in Oak Ridge history to do so. John would be selected as the New Sentinel Prep Extra Runner of the Year in 2010 as well. He was also a two-time All-State performer in the 3,200-meter run in both 2009 and 2010. After graduating from Oak Ridge, John would also continue his running career at Belmont. Like Sarah, John would also thrive in cross country and track. While at Belmont, he earned multiple awards, including All Ohio Valley Conference, multiple All OVC Academy honor rolls, and being named team captain. Let's give it up for John Sharp. And then read his bio.
Just say he couldn't be here tonight.
Our third inductee was unable to be here tonight is Sean Bohannon. Let's give these inductees a big round of applause.
Thank you so much. As that's the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame 2024 Hall of Fame inductees. We're going to take a 4-minute timeout, catch up, and pay some bills. When we come back, we'll have stats and more from Blankenship Field.
Stretching and working out.
I know, I haven't stood this long in a while.
That's sad. Do you still have that thing? I might read this on here.
Where is it?
It's under here, I think.
Good, how are you, brother?
Good, man. Good.
I can read it if you want me to. I know it's kind of.
No, it don't matter to me.
If you want to read it, you can. I just know it's just kind of small.
I can read it, and I can still see it.
How about another round of applause for all the Hall of Fame inductees?
When do you want me to do the scoring from, or do you?
Why don't we'll come back with Mark, and then depending on how much time we have, we might skip out that to the end if we got enough time.
That's all right with me. I don't care. I do what you want me to do.
Dang right you do. I'm just kidding. Keep it that way.
I'm Alex. Once again, hello everybody.
Yeah, really.
The ever-present Suttles.
You want to say go Wildcat?
all of the football sponsors for 2024. Silver sponsors, Consolidated Nuclear Security, Woody's Bar and Grill, and Calhoun. Bronze sponsors, Gym Technology, Absolute Millwork Consulting, Ray Edge Dance, Walton George Realty, and Oakley's Nissan. Great sponsors.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. We just had the Hall of Fame inductees. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. He might be an inductee in the future of the Prep Radio Hall of Fame, Nick Suttles. Nick, you got something to say?
Go Wildcats.
Able to join us tonight. Not been able to join us much lately. Here's Mark Haste with the halftime stats.
Thank you very much, Alex. As you said, Oak Ridge on top at the half, 28-14 over the Clinton Dragons. Looking at the statistics first for Oak Ridge, they're led on the ground by Demillion Porter. He has 114 yards on 13 carries. His long tonight is 39 yards. Jermichael Howard has 3 carries for 26 yards. Blaine Stansberry, 6 carries for 7 yards. As a team, the Wildcats have rushed the ball 22 times, gaining 147 yards on the ground. Through the air, Wildcats quarterback Blaine Stansberry, he's 4 of 9 for 86 yards. Receiving tonight, led by Jarrell Jimerson. He has a 45-yard reception. Will Presley, 2 receptions for 38 yards, and Malik Howard has a 3-yard reception. So as a team, the Wildcats, on the ground, they have 147 yards on 22 carries. They have 86 yards through the air on 4 receptions for a total offense tonight of 233 yards at the half. Oak Ridge has 7 first downs in the first half. They've been penalized 10 times for 94 yards. Now looking at the Clinton Dragons, they're led on the ground by Elijah Davidson. He has 77 yards on 8 carries. Raylan Hayden has a 2-yard carry. Bo Wright with a 2-yard carry. Jackson Harrell has a 2-yard carry as well. Riker Arms, 1 carry for no yards. And Jalen Benjamin, the quarterback for the Dragons, he has 3 carries netting -4 yards. So on the ground, as a team, the Dragons have 79 yards on 15 carries. Through the air, quarterback Jalen Benjamin, he is 5 of 10 for 119 yards. Receiving for the Dragons are led by Bryson Maddox. He has 4 receptions for 110 yards. His long was 48 yards. Bo Wright has a 9-yard reception for Clinton. So as a team, the Dragons have 79 yards on the ground on 15 carries, 119 yards through the air on 5 receptions for a total offense of 198 yards. Clinton has 6 first downs in the first half. They have been penalized 6 times for 48 yards. Time of possession, Oak Ridge has had the ball 14 minutes, 27 seconds. Clinton has had the ball 9 minutes and 33 seconds. So looking at the team side by side, rushing, Oak Ridge 147, Clinton 79. Through the air, Oak Ridge has 86 yards, Clinton 119. Total offense, Oak Ridge with 233 total offensive yards in the first half. Clinton, 198. First downs, Oak Ridge has 7. Clinton has 6. Penalties, big difference here. Oak Ridge, 10 penalties, 94 yards. Clinton, 6 penalties for 48 yards. And as I said, time of possession, Oak Ridge, 14 minutes, 27 seconds. Clinton, 9 minutes and 33 seconds. Again, this is Mark Hayes, where Oak Ridge is leading at the half, 28-14. Alex?
Thank you, Mark. Got to let you send it to break, but we've got to see if they're going to give us 3 more minutes. For about 3 years now, every game they have, but the bands didn't play. If they give us a 3-minute timeout, we'll take a break. They do. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. Be back to Blankenship Field, where the streak continues.
Hey, Alec, did you catch that homecoming queen's name?
Carly Brown. So, Grayson, one of our camera guys, the young guy, I guess they're all young, but I think the youngest, he is, that's his sister. I didn't realize that.
He's who?
Grayson, the younger kid. That's his sister.
Oh, really? Carly Brown? Is that what
Carly.
Carly? C-A-R-L-E-Y. Deshaun Watson was the king.
Ray Quan.
Raekwon.
He's the point guard on the basketball team, if you remember that.
Some scores of interest. There are a few, but many did not play tonight. McMinn County 9, Uruguay 0. Ray County 6, Walker Valley 0. Kingston 7, Rockwood 7 at the half.
So what do you want me to do when we come back? You want me to do the scoring summary? Because he's already gone over this, but I'll do it again. But you want me to do the scoring summary or not? What do you want me to do?
We're going to come back, and they're right at
Right
kickoff, I
at
think.
kickoff,
So what
okay.
we may,
That's fine.
well,
No
I
big
want to get
deal.
that stuff in.
It's no big deal.
Well, I want to get the stuff in, though, because they didn't even, on the announcements,
I know.
PA, they didn't do anything for Sean.
No. Kind of faint. It's hard to hear, really. Not the best volume I've ever heard. I tell you, Oak Ridge, that defensive stand we had at the very end of the second quarter was a thing of beauty as far as I'm concerned. And I know Gibson tipped that ball. I know he did. Just show it on the replay tomorrow or whenever, tonight, whatever they do.
Dave said to just do our scores.
Do our score?
You can do it quickly. Welcome back to Blankenship Field as we get set for kickoff. Mike, if you could, as quick as you can, like an infomercial, read off our first half scores.
Okay, to start the first quarter, Clinton scored first and went up 7-0, but didn't last long. With 11:15 in the second quarter, Blaine Stansbury threw a 9-yard pass to Will Plessley. The Wildcats went 6-7. Eli Pearson's kick was good. The game was tied 7-7. Then with 8:24, Javarius Porter ran one in from 30 yards out, and the Wildcats took the lead for the first time of the night, 13-7. Eli Pearson's kick was good. And then Clinton scored again and tied it up 14-all. But then with 5:51 left in the second quarter, Jermichael Howard ran one in out from 7 yards out and put the Wildcats up 20-14. Eli Pearson's kick was good. And then with 1 minute and 43 seconds left, Blaine Stansbury ran one in from the right end and put the Wildcats up 27-14. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats lead at the half 28-14.
Eli Pearson's kick was good, and so is his kickoff right there as it goes to the end zone. You also have the homecoming king and queen, one a familiar face for Wildcat basketball fans.
Yeah, Raekwon Watson won the king, and Haley Brown, Carly Brown was the homecoming queen for 2024 for Oak Ridge High School.
And that is the sister of one of our camera crew members, Grayson Brown. We appreciate Grayson. All he does for us, his family through the years has helped us out, along with many, many others who make this train roll. First handoff of the second half for Clinton goes about nowhere. Back to the line of scrimmage where running back is met by Wayne Gibson and J.T. Gormley. Also Bishop and Stewart there, as Oak Ridge has really kind of prided themselves, I think, lately on kind of game tackling and not just having one hat on the football, but having multiple defenders there to make sure those guys don't escape, something they struggle with in the first half at times, Mike.
I tell you, that last second quarter stop the Wildcats made down on the goal line was huge for the Wildcats to give them that 14-point lead at the half.
Totally agree. 11:15 to go here in the third quarter. Clinton's opening drive of the second half. They drop back to pass, but he's not going to. He's going to be sacked. T. Ray Threet met the quarterback first. Benjamin goes down. It looked like Bishop and Walters already there, but boy, T. Ray, after being shaken up in the first half, nice to see him come out with a strong start to the second half. T. Ray is really coming on here about midway through his senior season.
They're absolutely keying on Benjamin right now. They're slamming him down, and a big loss on that play brings up 3rd and 16 from the 14. The Wildcats have got them backing up, Alec Myers.
10:31 to go here in the third quarter. 3rd and 16 from Clinton's own 14-yard line. New quarterback into the game for Clinton. He's going to launch this one way downfield for Maddox. Maddox catches it at the 47, and he's tackled by Jimerson and Wayne Gibson. There was 3 Wildcats there, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter what quarterback Clinton has in, Mike. The goal is clear. Just heave it up and let big 6'4" Maddox just out-jump everybody. Oak Ridge had it covered, but there's not much defense for that.
His concentration is second to none. He went right up between both Wildcat defenders and caught that pass, and they were hanging all over him, and he still managed to catch it. A big first down, almost to the 48-yard line now.
He looks like he might be a little shaken up after that play. Hopefully he's all right. Man in motion, it's Riker Arms. He gets the ball at the middle and is blasted. He is smacked by Gormley. He was first met by T.J. Hibben, but Gormley came in to make sure he did not go anywhere. And unfortunately, another Wildcats down on the field. We're going to take a 30-second timeout and see if he's okay on the way back. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. We can't see the player who's shaken up. Hopefully they'll be okay. They are down and have been for a couple of minutes now. I want to remind you the Hall of Fame inductees in this ballgame. John Sharp was an all-state runner and a state champion. Sarah Feynman was a 5-time state champion runner. 4 years of eligibility to win the state 5 times as a runner. It's pretty impressive, Mike.
Very impressive. Are you kidding me? I got to watch her run. I know she was an outstanding athlete for Oak Ridge High School.
Also, Sean Bohannon. Wildcat fans, that's a name to be remembered. The 1996 All-American who rushed for over 2,400 yards and 32 touchdowns, which is still a single-season record at Oak Ridge High School. He would go on to start at the University of Alabama. It was T. Ray Threet who's shaken up. Let's take a 30-second timeout as he walks off under his own power. We'll be back after this.
Did you ever get to see Sean play?
Not live,
Man,
but I saw that with a big old shoulder. I saw the videos. Did you see that?
He could run.
2,400 yards and 32 touchdowns in one season.
I know. He could run.
You could give me a decade and I wouldn't score 32
He was
times.
just fluid motion when he ran.
To be that big but smooth.
Yeah, and his knees came up and he was gone.
He was one of those classic guys when you get in the open field, cock that head back. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Appreciate Brian being flexible with us on trying to get some commercial breaks in. Second down run goes for about 3, and it brings up 3rd and 4 from the Wildcat 46. Clinton trying to put together an opening drive here as we start the third quarter. Clinton had flipped their quarterbacks. He's not exactly running. He looks a little ginger on one of his legs, but the starting quarterback is, in fact, back out there right now. 9:01 to go here in the third quarter. Clinton, the big play coming up. Crowd's not real into this one, but it's 3rd and 4 for the Dragons. Fake handoff again. Long launching throw down to Maddox, and it falls harmlessly to the turf, out of bounds. So 4th and 4. We've seen Clinton go for a fake punt earlier in the game. I think they're going to keep their offense out here on this 4th down conversion. If they don't get this and Oak Ridge were to score right here, this could basically be ball game, you would think.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am really surprised they're going to go for it again. Surely not. They're going to.
And Oak Ridge had
Oak
Ridge had Jimerson back deep to receive a punt, and now they've got to adjust. Oak Ridge is confused. They should call a timeout. Do they get one? They do, just by the skin of the hair on their chinny chin. We're going to take a timeout for 30 seconds. We'll be back to Blankenship Field for 4th and 4. Did I just say skin of the hair on the chinny chin?
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Most things I say don't.
That's a nursery rhyme.
Yeah, but you don't have skin on your head. I don't know.
This little piggy went to market.
Mike Sheehan on 4th and 4. This is a pivotal play in the ball game.
Absolutely. It looks like the Dragons were going to go for it before the timeout. They weren't trying to fool anybody, and now Oak Ridge has got their defense set up ready for this 4th down try. 4th and 4 to 46 for the Dragons.
One receiver to each side. It's going to be a pass. They're going to look at Maddox. He's interfered with, and this is going to be a free play. The ball falls harmlessly out of the bounds as the quarterback threw it away. However, it's not going to be called, but Mike, he threw that to where there was no receiver, and he was still in the pocket. That should be intentional grounding. It should be offsetting and replay 4th down. They didn't call that. What they did call was the pass interference on Oak Ridge. I think it might call it a holding, but either way, it'll be an automatic 1st down, and the Dragons will keep this drive alive. Their quarterback is hurting right now.
He does look like he's limping a little bit. I tell you, the Wildcats are killing themselves with penalties. We had 10 penalties for 94 yards in the first half, and things aren't starting off exactly sweet here in the second half.
First and 10 from the 36. Handoff up the middle to Davidson. He's sprung one earlier, but ever since then, he's been held to short gains of 3 and 4 yards. That was a 4-yard gain, and it brings up 2nd and 6 with 8:27 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Caden Stewart there on the stop for the Wildcats. He penetrated through there, but it brings up now 2nd down and about 6 from the 32.
8:09 to play here in the 3rd quarter. As you mentioned, 2nd and 6 from the 32-yard line. Clinton driving, trying to make this a one-score game, trailing 28-14. Pitch to the right side, Riker Arms. He's going backwards, reverses field, goes back left, gets across the line of scrimmage finally, and it's going to fall forward for a gain of 1. And Mike, he probably, between the motion and all the running around he did, he probably ran 30 yards that time, but he gains 1. A nice job staying at home for the Wildcat defense.
Yeah, J.T. Gormley again there on the stop. I tell you, he coming in from his linebacker position. J.T. has played a whale of a game every game this year. He's given it his all. He made a great stop that time to keep Riker from getting any further. He actually lost a yard on that play.
3rd and a long 5, nearly 6. Ball on the 31-yard line. 7:17 to play in the 3rd. Here's the snap. No. Oak Ridge jumps. Hudson Lee goes across the line of scrimmage. And unfortunately for Oak Ridge, depending on the spot, I said it was a long 5. We'll see if it's enough to get him a 1st down or if it'll be 3rd in centimeters. But it was encroachment on Oak Ridge. And they're going to give it to him. It's going to be 1st and 10 Clinton from the Oak Ridge 26-yard line. 7:10 to play in this one. Clock winding here in the 3rd quarter. Tight formation in the pistol formation from Oak Ridge. Riker Arms coming left to right. Handoff up the middle. Running back is going to take the give for about 2. And that's about all he'll get. Host of Wildcats in there. I'm going to guess T-Ray 3. Nice to see him back in the ball game. Yep. He just kind of piled everybody up, and that defensive tackle, that nose tackle spot, you don't often get your name called a bunch, although he has tonight. But really, what's your job as a defensive tackle? It's to take up space, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Tavian Bounds there on the carry for the Clinton Dragons that time. He only got 2 on that carry. Brings up 2nd and 8 now from the 24.
Clinton with a little bit of confusion. Quarterback Benjamin goes over to a couple of his H-backs and kind of gives them instructions. Arms comes in motion. They're going to take a deep shot. 2 wide receivers in one area. The ball is tipped away by Porter. I think Porter's lucky. The Wildcats might have gotten away with a little bit. I think Porter got to the receiver just a little bit early. It wasn't too bad. But at the rate that these officials have called penalties, I'm shocked that that one wasn't called. But the ball falls into the turf harmlessly, incomplete, and it brings up 3rd and 8.
I thought his timing was perfect. He got there just as the ball did.
Officials have something to question, so we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Third down play, quarterback drops back, finds Maddox on the left side across the 20, and boy, he's just so strong and powerful. And I think they're going to give him the first down. So on 3rd and 8, they give the ball on a quick flick out to Maddox, only for about 5. He needed 8, and he pushed his way, just kind of powered his way across the first down marker, but now we've got another discussion by the officials. Boy, these officials like talking about as much as you and I do, Mike. So this is going to be after the play, a personal foul on one of the defensive backs for Oak Ridge. I didn't see it. The only thing I can think is possibly a late hit, or maybe there was an extra something after the end of the play. But boy, Mike, you just keep hurting yourselves.
This is kind of disappointing, really. They're going to get great field position now.
It's going to be half the distance.
Down to the 8-yard line.
Half the distance to the goal, and so it's 1st and goal. They're going to say from the 8-yard line with 6 minutes on the clock left in the 3rd quarter, and do not be surprised if Clinton doesn't target big Bryson Maddox. He's got their only 2 touchdowns in the ball game. Man in motion, and right as the play starts, there's another penalty. There's a handoff off right tackle, but again, right as the play started, the official stopped play. Could it be a false start? It is. So the Wildcats get 5 of those yards back. However, they don't get the first down back. It will still be first down for Clinton, but it'll be 1st and 13. You don't say that very often. 1st and goal from the 13 after the false start penalty. 5:55 remaining. So Oak Ridge, maybe a little home clock operating there. There was 6 minutes on the clock. The penalty, they started the play, but the penalty actually shouldn't have, the clock shouldn't have started, but there was 5 seconds that ticked off. I don't think anybody's caught it. 1st and goal from the 13. Handoff up the middle to Davidson. He gets about 2, maybe we'll call it 3. And he gets right up close to the 10-yard line, where it will be 2nd and goal for Clinton. Clinton trailing 28-14. It seems like this is almost out of hand, and I think if Oak Ridge were to make this a 3-possession game, the ball game would essentially be all but over. But Clinton staying within striking distance with a chance to make it a 1-possession game if they can stick it in the end zone here.
Exactly. Amonte Bishop there on the stop of the Wildcat brings up now 2nd and 11 for the Clinton Dragons from the 11.
5:17 on the clock now. 5:15 as it continues to tick. 2nd and goal from the 10 for Clinton. One wide out, he's to the left. Maddox is a tight end. Man in motion, it's faked to him. They're going to give it out to the wide receiver on the right side. And what a tackle by Caden Stewart. They tried to flip the pass out to Bo Wright, the senior wide receiver, who coming out of the backfield in motion. They've tried it twice. It's failed twice. Great play for the Wildcats. We're going to take a 60-second timeout and come back with 3rd and goal.
That was a great play. He was all over him.
121st loss. They set the record.
Really?
Please call their office or visit their website at
And you got to try to be that bad.
www.ortho.com.
As a Pistons fan, I know bad sports. 121 losses is bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is bad. That's not a record you want right there.
what a sparse crowd. White Sox suffer their 121st loss in the MLB. Wow, that's a record setting. As it's 3rd and 14. Fake into the end zone, pass caught by who else? Maddox. The Wildcat rush nearly got to Benjamin, and he right before he got hit, he let it go. And I mean, I don't understand. You've got one-on-one coverage. Mike, is there a reason why Oak Ridge is only putting one guy on him? I know when they've put 3 on him, he's still catching it, but to me in the goal line situation, it's a little surprising that was only one Wildcat jersey near him.
I tell you, he's just a very impressive receiver. He was deep-ended, but he just overpowers everyone and goes up and makes a big score.
We're going to take a 90-second break. When we come back, it'll be third quarter action. Score 28-21, Oak Ridge in the lead. We're going to be late at coming back, but that's okay. We got to get breaks in. I'll just call it for the recording and stuff. But
We have got to stop these penalties, Alex. Just kill them.
I'm not going to say that. But
You're right.
Wayne Collins in to kick off for the Dragons. Deep for the Wildcats, number 2, Will Presley. Russ Douglas on the return. Tackled by number 2, Elijah Davidson. First and 10 Wildcats from their own 33-yard line.
welcome back. Blankenship Field after a Rush Douglas short kickoff return. The Wildcats have it 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Quick swing pass on first down out to Will Presley. He makes a Maddox tackle miss, and then he is thrown out of bounds by 4 Clinton Dragons. Nice pick up on first down, though, Mike. It's 2nd and 4 after a 6-yard gain.
Very good execution from Blaine Stansberry to Will Presley that time. Very quick play out to the right flat. Will got over there for about looks like a 7-yard gain on that play.
Thank you to one of our listeners listening here in town, Janie, who reminds us that Carly Brown, we talked about her being Grayson's sister, in addition to winning Homecoming Queen tonight, she's also an athlete. She's one of the Dance Cats, certainly the cheerleading team, the Wild Band, the Dance Cats, all great parts of what makes Oak Ridge football on Friday night so special. 2nd down, here comes a quick throw to Jimerson, 45. Can he make one man miss? He can't, but he does get the ball. Ball comes out as he's tackled, but he was down and the officials all over it. He gets the ball across the 45, so it will be a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down for the Wildcats on the Jimerson play. He was wide open, just got the soft spot in the zone, and nice recognition by junior Blaine Stansberry finding him. It's 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 48-yard line with 4:14 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Yeah, the Wildcats are executing very well right now, and that's exactly what we need. Hanging on to a 28-21 lead against the Clinton Dragons.
1st and 10. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side. It's on the near hash towards the Oak Ridge sideline. Quick pass finds Will Presley. Presley tried to get a block, and Jimerson just could not quite get there. Great play by Maddox. We've seen him make great plays all night on offense, and that time he makes a nice tackle in the open field. But still a gain of 5 on 1st down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, again, just good pass and catch for the Wildcats, moving the chains. 2nd down and 5 now from the 47.
Talked about the White Sox earlier. The Mets are losing, the Braves are winning, and so are the Wildcats. I'd say it's a pretty good start to your Friday night sports agenda, at least if you're fans of the teams that I am. 2nd and 5, Blaine Stansbury's going to hand the ball off to DeMillion Porter. Porter gets across the 40, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down Wildcats. Boy, it seems like it's been about a year since Porter's carried the ball. I think it's the first time this half he's touched the ball, and we've only got 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the 3rd.
I really like the way that young man runs. He has great power, good field vision, and ability to make people miss, and gets another badly needed Wildcat 1st down, now inside Dragon territory.
And as many things as Clinton has done right offensively, the star of this game tonight has been this offensive line, I think, for Oak Ridge. Blaine's played well, DeMillion's played well, but the push, the consistent shove that those guys have had up front has been really, really impressive, and that's 2 weeks in a row. 1st and 10 from the 40. Blaine Stansbury looks left, pump fakes. Will, he's got him down the sideline. He's got him held. There's a flag, but Will's got it anyways. Touchdown, Wildcats. You can hold him, you can grab him, but one thing you can't do is stop him. Will Presley for 6, and the Wildcats extend their lead once again.
I tell you what, Blaine had all night long to throw that ball. I bet he had at least 6 or 7 seconds. And he waited and he waited and he waited. Will came open, and he hit him on a dead stride. 40-yard touchdown by the Wildcats. They take the lead now, 34-21.
And we just talked about it, and as a former lineman yourself, always keen on that. What a play, and it's all started because of the protection and the time that play took to develop as the rain starts to come down on Blankenship Field. It started raining at halftime, then it stopped, and now it's a light drizzle here again. The Wildcats up by 13, trying to make this a 14-point game. Snap, hold, kick, it's good. 35-21 your score, 2:24 to go. We're going to take a 90-second timeout and come back with more 3rd quarter action.
Remind you to visit Fox Insurance Group in Oak Ridge for all of your personal or business insurance needs. Thanks to Fox Insurance Group and all of our scoreboard sponsors.
I like a 14-point lead a lot better.
A little more comfortable.
I feel more comfortable there. Well, I tell you, this team's dangerous. Clinton ain't nobody to slouch.
I need to give a shout out to how far was that?
40 yards.
Pearson's kickoff. Davis is deep.
Ball fell off the tee.
In the downpour, here comes the kickoff. Kicking south to north, a wobbly kick, bounces in the end zone, and that's a touchback. Another one for Eli Pearson, and he's not going to get a bunch of stats tonight, but another great performance by Eli.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you, he is a weapon for the Wildcats. He's keeping the the Dragons backed up all night long with these super long kickoffs through the end zone, gives them no chance whatsoever to return that kickoff, and that's a big advantage for the Wildcats as the Dragons will take over from their 20-yard line. 2 minutes and 24 seconds left here in the third quarter. Dragons now trailing 21-35.
Mike, if you're Clinton, I mean, is there another option but just to heave it to number 7? Because really, they've scored 3 times. He's caught all 3, and most of the drives that they've scored on, he's been a big part of getting them down near the red zone.
He is a weapon to be dealt with, no doubt about it. A tremendous talent.
What a play that time. Handoff left side. Malik Howard, I was zoomed in on you, watching you the whole time. They ran out to the left. So he plays outside linebacker in a 3-man front. He's almost a 4th lineman, coming down almost as a defensive end. And that time, instead of your natural inclination when the ball snapped to just fire across the line, he took 1 step and then kind of put his arm out and stiff-armed the blocker to kind of hold his position, knowing I've got to hold containment on the outside. And as that ball carrier tried to bounce it outside, he just shoved the blocker to the side, wrapped him up. Textbook play from Malik Howard.
Absolutely. As it's beginning to rain, Alec, a lot of people throwing up their umbrellas, people getting their rain gear out. I hate to see this happen.
Those that are left, really kind of a sparse crowd for a Clinton game. Here's a snap on 2nd down. Why not? Deep shot. Intercepted. Intercepted by Tyree Porty. 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. Finally shoved out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Tyree Porter, an interception. And not only an interception, Mike, but a great return.
That's what I was getting ready to say. He made a great return on that ball. He got up the sideline in a hurry, and Alec, he's in the red zone already. We're down all the way to the 16-yard line.
It's 2 weeks in a row. 2 turnovers for this defense, 2 takeaways, and both times they've set their offense up in great field position. This time doesn't get much better. 1st and 10 from the Dragon 16-yard line. I think a score here to make it a 3-possession game would be almost insurmountable. Find some wood to knock on. We got to get there first. 2 receivers left on the wide side of the field for Blaine, but he hands it off to Porter. Porter crosses back across the line of scrimmage. It is rolled down by Riker Arms at the 11. So, again, every time you think Porter's just going to get a yard or 2, he's just got the ability, like great running backs do, of falling forward. And instead of going down after 2 yards, he goes down after 4, and it's 2nd and 6 for Oak Ridge.
That's what pad leverage and determination will do. Great leg drive by Porter. Now we're down all the way to the 6.
A lot of great Porters have graced this field. He's another one in the making. Blaine fakes left in the flats and to fire a wide open pass. Jarrell Jimerson, Oak Ridge's leading receiver at halftime, gets in the end zone here. Jimerson, a 12-yard reception off a strike, a dart from Blaine Stansberry. 41-21, the Wildcats have opened up a can, as Ronnie Hayes would like, here in the third quarter. Extra point coming momentarily. Washington to hold, TJ Hibben to snap, and Pearson on to try the extra point. High snap, fielded well by Washington. Kick is up and good. It's 42-21 with 41 seconds left in the third. We're going to take a 90-second timeout and be back with our third quarter action. Wow. This game turned in a hurry.
Eli Pearson to kick off. Deep for the Dragons, number 2, Elijah Davidson.
How many passing touchdowns does Blaine have? I know he's got 1 rushing. Kick just barely into the end zone from Pearson, so Clinton will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20.
1st and 10 Dragons from their own 20.
And then the Russian, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Eli Pearson's kick, to no one's surprise, goes into the end zone. Blaine Stanberry now with five touchdowns to be accounted for, all 5. 1 was rushing, 4 through the air. First down pass from Clinton goes for a big gain. It's Maddox across the middle going to the right side. Could have gotten out of bounds, but instead takes a shot from Quivez Williams. I'm not sure why he kind of took that shot, but he's a tough guy and gets back up. A lot of respect shown from Oak Ridge for Maddox, and rightfully so. Just a really, really good high school football player. A guy, even though he plays for your rival Mike, you just kind of at the end of the day have to tip your hat and go, that's just a really good ball player.
Yeah, it makes me wish he was playing for us instead of Clinton.
1st and 10 for the Dragons at their own 41-yard line, trying to get back into this game. They need a touchdown on this drive. Trailing 42-21. Oak Ridge has doubled them up now. Here comes a quick pass to no one.
Wow.
And that was eerily close to being.
That was a busted play, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's eerily close to being.
Bo Wright just took on up the field, and Benjamin threw the ball to him, but he was 15 yards down the field.
If I was Oak Ridge, I would be asking for intentional grounding because it was thrown as a comeback, and he hopped in the air like a jump pass as he was about to get hit. I think he was just kind of throwing that away, but he was in the pocket. But we'll see. No call, no flag called. Second down run to Davidson, and he is going backwards. JT Gormley and T. Ray Threet. Excuse me, Carson Nivens. He is a guy, not the biggest guy, but an all-state player as junior year at Oliver Springs. He's come over. We talked to him on the Wednesday night show and interviewed him. Really fun, really great, spirited young man. Boy, he's really coming into his own his senior season as a transfer.
He certainly is. And got to get a shout-out to Carson Nivens, also there on the stop for the Wildcats.
We got to take a quick timeout. Sorry to interrupt you. We got to go to commercials in. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Exception to that one touchdown they got.
Third and 11. New quarterback into the game. Fires a pass to Maddox, and it's incomplete. Why? Jarrell Jimerson got his fingers in on it and knocks that one down. Single coverage that time again for the Wildcats, and Jimerson holds his own on 3rd and 11. New quarterback into the game was Camden Nelson, the sophomore. And let's see if they get the starting quarterback back in there. No, they're going to stay with the sophomore. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. If I was a sophomore, I'd target Maddox. 4th and 11, 11:55 to go. 5 seconds into this fourth quarter. Snap, they're going to roll him right. They're going to take a deep shot. Could it be intercepted? Could it be caught? No. Falls to the turf, incomplete, and that's a turnover on downs. Once again for the Dragons. 12 seconds into this fourth quarter, we talked about it before the game, Mike. If Oak Ridge got a shot to put it on Clinton after how last year ended, would they? Well, now we're going to get your chance. As Oak Ridge runs those starters back out there, we'll see how they do this. I do want to give a shout-out to Clinton, to a Clintonian. Matt Hagan, worked with him in the media market in Knoxville. Just a tremendous guy. And although he's for the rival team, he went out of his way to help us. We were short a tripod for this game. So if you're watching on YouTube, know that you would not have that vision from the top camera had it not been for the generosity of the folks at Dragon Vision and Matt Hagan for letting us borrow a tripod today. We thank him for that. First down give goes to the right side to Jamichael Howard, and he gets across the line of scrimmage, but not much further. We'll give him one. So it'll be 2nd and 9. The Wildcats take over at their 40. So now the ball's at the Dragon 39. Into the ball game, Braden Sharp for the first time tonight. So Sharp's in there with Will Presley. And also Justice West at wide receiver for Oak Ridge. Malik Howard still in there. Starting lineup intact other than West and
Will Presley's out there.
Yeah, other than West and Sharp.
Number 13, Braden Sharp.
Thank you. 10:57, and this is taking too long. Coach Rang wants a timeout. We'll take a 60-second timeout and come back to Blankenship Field.
Starting to get some subs in now.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Wild Band is live and well tonight.
Second and 9 from the 39.
Second and 9 from the 39. Stansberry looks left, and there's a whistle before the play starts. That second down play was halted. There's a flag on the play, and out of the timeout from Coach Rang, Clinton lines up in the neutral zone. It's encroachment, they're going to call it. So instead of 2nd and 9, it'll be 2nd and 4. Will Presley across the way. You know, he and Blaine originally are from that Clinton area and grew up and I think played some youth ball out that way. And this game means a lot to both of them. Will, again, a guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve. He is fired up, and I would not be surprised if he's not in that huddle saying, give me one more shot here. He's being guarded by Maddox at the corner position. Blaine Stansberry looking right, pump fakes, throws it to Justice West, in and out of his hands. He had a shot. If that ball was a little lower, if it hits him in the hands, Justice West might not have been caught, but instead he kind of had to reach for it with one hand and was not able to make that catch. So this 2nd and 4 turns into 3rd and 4 with 10:51 to play. Mike, what do you go here? If it's me, well, I'll let you answer it. You're doing color commentary.
Well, I'm gonna go deep again. You know, we lack 4 yards on this carry. I think he's gonna throw it again instead of running.
I think you're in 2-down territory, so they're going to do a quick flip over to Will Presley, and the ball just never quite got there. It was a nice little setup with Jimerson coming to set a block on Maddox, the corner, but unfortunately the ball was a little bit short.
Yeah, he just didn't have good trajectory for whatever reason on that ball. It fell harmlessly to the ground. I think the Wildcats are going to go for it here on 4th down from the 34-yard line.
It is possible, though. It's turf. It doesn't hold mud and water like a normal field does, but it is possible with some kind of intermittent rain we've had throughout this game that the ball might have been a little slick. We'll see. 4th and 4, though. Ball on the 34. Need to get to the 30. 10:47 to go in the 4th. Blaine Stansberry fakes to give up the middle. They're going to set up a screen. It's not there. He just has to throw it into the ground, and that's a turnover on downs. So I don't think Oak Ridge ran the ball that entire drive. And, I would have liked to see, when I said I was getting ready to say what I would have liked to have seen on third down was a give to DeMillion Porter, but then I realized I asked you the question. I should let you answer. But the push has been so strong for Oak Ridge tonight. I just thought, maybe give him a chance. But regardless, Coach Rang talked on our Wednesday show that when you've got a big lead and you get deep into enemy territory, it's a chance to kind of work on your passing game. And if you're ever in a close game, then that can really come back to be something that benefits you. But so sometimes you're not as worried about picking up an extra score as you are trying to work on execution. So maybe that's what they were doing. 1st and 10 for Clinton off the turnover on downs. Ball at the 34-yard line. They're moving away from Jackson Square. Quarterback fires across the middle, and it gets it just over the outstretched hands of Wayne Gibson. I thought he was going to have a shot to intercept it. It was completed by Maddox, and the pass was from Nelson, the sophomore, Camden Nelson. And Maddox took a shot at the end. And boy, he is laying it all out there for the Dragons, and he took a shot. I think he's going to stay in there. I mean, he's Mr. Everything for them, Mike. It's harder to remember a guy that's put more of the weight on his shoulders that he has tonight, and he's going to have to come off the field.
Yeah, they smashed him on that play.
1st and 10 for the Dragons. Nelson fires, and it's going to be intercepted by Dallas Fritt at the 40. Can he make a man miss? No, but he'll run him over. Dallas Fritt all the way to the 44-yard line. His first interception of the year. The Wildcat defense's third takeaway of the ball game.
Wow, that's just an outstanding interception. I tell you, the Wildcats put pressure on the new quarterback, Camden Nelson, that time, and he just threw it, and Dallas broke on it perfectly and made about a 5-yard return, and the Wildcats back in business on offense. 10 minutes and 5 seconds left in this game. Wildcats leading 42-21.
And the man who was appeared to be shaken up. Maybe he's just exhausted. A couple plays ago for Clinton Maddox. Nice to see him back out there. But now he's got a one-on-one cover. Will Presley. Press coverage is the call. They're going to hand it off to DeMillion Porter. Cuts inside at left guard across the 50. 45-40, carrying defenders down to the 36-yard line. There it is, DeMillion Porter. All steady, all reliable, and it's a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down for the Wildcats, leading 42-21 with 9:57 left in the fourth. There's a timeout on the field. We'll take one with them. We'll take a 30-second timeout when we come back. More action from Blankenship Field. Unsportsmanlike.
What was that all about? Was there a penalty?
So while we were gone, the stoppage of in play
Obviously,
while we were gone was a penalty against Oak Ridge, an unsportsmanlike conduct. And not to speculate, but there was a certain Oak Ridge wide receiver that tends to be kind of emotional that came off the field. So a lot of times that might lead one to believe that it was on him. I don't know. But regardless, it was after the play. So it will be first down for Oak Ridge. However, they're spotting it 1st and 6 from the 49-yard line. And I was going to say that didn't look right. So now they'll get it corrected. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Receivers, Angel, Jimerson, and Washington for Oak Ridge. Howard in at H-back. Porter, the running back. Blaine Stansberry, the tailback. Left to right, it's Bafford, Young, Hibben, Bonner, and Eubanks up front for the Cats. Quick throw out here to Jimerson at the 45, down to the 40, and he's going to be taken down. A big hit, but not before a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. Moves the ball into enemy territory down to the 37-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Oak Ridge. Nice little play there.
That was just a bow right on the tackle for the Clinton Dragons. Saved a touchdown. Another great execution by the Wildcats. They're marching on down the field now on the 38-yard line.
Kevin McKeithen playing get-back coach right now for Oak Ridge. Telling guys to get back off the sideline. Handoff right side to Porter. Tackled after a gain of about 2 by a Clinton defender. And here's more pushing and shoving out of bounds from Clinton and Oak Ridge. A lot of talking, a lot of jawing in this game, and I think it's, quite frankly, it's from both sides. The problem is I don't know who this penalty is on. And Oak Ridge just got him, and there's more, another penalty. Oak Ridge, somebody who's not even in the game, I don't know if they've even touched the turf all year, decides to do some extra jawing, and now what would have probably been an offsetting penalty will now hurt the Wildcats. Oak Ridge, and I'm just going to say this, both teams have been, and it's understandable in a rivalry game to get a little emotional. Oak Ridge has been flat out undisciplined and sloppy tonight. Thankfully, it's not hurting them on the scoreboard, but my goodness, Mike, that's unacceptable.
It certainly is. If that was our team back when I played, you'd be running to dark, making stupid penalties like this. Very costly and highly unnecessary, I might add.
And now a starting lineman for Oak Ridge, continuing to bark. I don't know what are you accomplishing? And he is pointing at the scoreboard, and he's right. The scoreboard should do the talking. At some point, you have to think. You have to use your head. And I know you're smart guys. I know this is an emotional game. Oak Ridge is quite literally moving their entire team about 5 yards past where they're supposed to be, closer and closer to the bench. This is unacceptable, and Oak Ridge's staff knows it. They're not letting this fly without words being said, but Oak Ridge, these are young guys, but they're just so emotional in this game, and thank goodness this game's not close, Mike, because that could be the difference in a win or loss if it was.
Absolutely it is. We had 10 penalties for 94 yards in the first half, and we're well on our way to that again in the second half.
And if any of these guys that have gotten a personal foul for Oak Ridge, if they get a second one, to my understanding, they'll miss at least half of next game. They might miss the whole game. So you just have to think, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And the answer is no. Let's get back to the game, though. 8:25 on the clock. Oak Ridge up 42-21. And I think there's going to be another discussion. Let's take a 60-second timeout from Blankenship Field.
We've got the whole team coming in now. They're pulling the whole team in. Talk to them, Alec. You're right. Right in the middle of him, maybe he can tell us what happened when he comes back up here.
What is he doing?
I don't know what he just said, but Nick was right there.
We welcome you back into the broadcast booth. Alex Myers alongside me. Filling in for David Clary tonight is Mike Sheehan. David Clary, executive producing this game from Atlanta. We want to thank Brian back at the studio, Brian Bennett, Mark and Shauna Hayes for keeping up with stats for the program, and for our broadcast, Ben George doing camera up top, Alex Waraxa, Grayson Brown, whose sister won Homecoming Queen, and also Matthew Charles doing camera sideline for us as well. Again, the Homecoming King was Oak Ridge basketball player Raekwon Watson. Big night for the Wildcats. 3 inductees into the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame as well. 8:25 to go. 2nd and 21. Ball on the Clinton 49. Man in motion is Sharp. He comes to a halt. Handoff up the middle to Porter. Crosses the 50 into Dragon territory at the 45. There's going to be a holding call, but Porter is shoved out of bounds unnecessarily and thrown into a bench on the Clinton sideline. Incredibly dangerous play, and that exactly, Mike. That's how people get hurt, and I just totally unnecessary. Thankfully, Porter's okay, and that's the kind of thing that starts a fight. And I don't want to say that word, but that's the type of stuff that starts it.
And not only that, Alec, that's how people get hurt, too.
Absolutely.
He knocked him all the way over into the bench, and that's a dangerous thing to happen. Thank goodness he hit it with his shoulder pads and his helmet, and he wasn't injured, but that's going to be a 15-yard personal foul penalty against the Dragons.
And I think usually when there's 2 penalties on a play, it's offsetting. I think the holding was during the play, and I think that came after the play. So that may change a little bit of how that's done. We'll have to see. Let's take a 30-second timeout at Blankenship Field. When we come back, we'll get this straightened out. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Hall of Fame inductees tonight. Sarah Feynman, 5-time state champion as a runner. Another runner, John Sharp, all-state and a state champion, class of 2010. And Sean Bohannon, a 1996 All-American who rushed for over 2,400 yards and 32 touchdowns, still a single-season record at Oak Ridge High School. He would go on to start at the University of Alabama. There's 2 fouls on the play. Dead ball personal foul penalty against Cladden. Wow. Unbelievable, Mike. They called that shove out of bounds. They called 2 dead ball personal fouls. So the personal fouls offset. Clinton's not hurt, and Oak Ridge is hurt because the third penalty on the play was a holding. The offsetting penalties, if I was president, maybe my first rule as president would be to change offsetting penalties. Penalize one person, but if you penalize 2, it's like it never happened, and someone needs to be punished. And I know that, I'm getting off on a tangent here, but it's just highly aggravating when essentially both guys just get a free pass for doing that. 8:18 to go here in the fourth quarter. Oak Ridge up by 21. They've doubled the Dragons' score here, 42-21. Second and a mile and a half. Handoff up the middle to Howard. Howard gets across 45 down to midfield. Shocker, Mike. There's more laundry on the field. Tide should come and do a commercial for this game. At some point, guys, everyone on this stadium, and probably including Clinton, wants to get this thing over with. They're calling another holding on Oak Ridge. I mean, this is something. I'll say that, Mike. Have you ever seen anything like that? We've seen. Well, let's not get into that.
Yes,
it's just sloppy. It's not aesthetically pleasing. I'll say that.
No, it's not. It's a shame this is happening, and I'll be anxious to see exactly how Mark Hayes can keep up with this.
Well, and part of your job as an official is to manage the game and make sure that this doesn't get out of hand too chippy, and I thought for most part they've done a pretty good job of that. Obviously, it's gotten a little out of hand here. I don't know why Clinton's declined that penalty.
Well, but
and now
they still lack
Oak Ridge,
31 yards for a first down. That's why.
I don't understand why it was declined. Maybe it's kind of a sign of sportsmanship from Clinton's coach to look over at Ray and kind of tip the cap and say, let's agree to get this thing over with. Oak Ridge still with most of their starters in the game. Porter is not in the game for Oak Ridge, but Jamichael Howard's a running back. Oak Ridge is going to try to take a deep shot. Stansberry with nowhere to go. He's going to try to run this thing and just kind of dive forward before he is piled on late. Dangerous play from Clinton, no flag. And Stansberry gains about 7. And it will be 4th and 23 from the 44-yard line of Clinton. And Oak Ridge, for the first time all night, will send the punter in.
That's what I was going to say. I don't believe the Wildcats have had to punt all night until right now. That's a shame. Dallas Frent made a tremendous interception to get the ball back for the Wildcats, but it
seems like it was 30 minutes ago. Yeah. Here comes Eli Pearson. Punt was nearly blocked. It's a beautiful high spiraling kick. Bounces at the 5, takes a great Oak Ridge bounce, and it was touched at the 4, I think. They're going to say it was the 5. And what a beautiful kick. Oak Ridge thinks that Clinton touched it. Oak Ridge is irate, saying it hit a Clinton player, and it should be 1st and goal. Oak Ridge is adamant. Joe Gaddis, athletic director, is pointing that way. We know how he feels about the Clinton Dragons.
Are out too, so
I'll be honest, Mike, I didn't see it. However, Oak Ridge feeling very strongly that was tipped by a Clinton player and should have been a fumble recovered by Oak Ridge. That's not how the officials see it, which is all that really matters. It's 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 5-yard line. If I know Coach Hawkins and if I know Oak Ridge, they're going to come after Clinton here with the sophomore quarterback, not the starter. See if they can try to come after him and force him into a mistake, maybe even a safety.
Yeah.
Man in motion, handoff up the middle. They're going to get that and a lot much more. Across the first down, way up to the 17-yard line. Davidson, a nice little running back. Not as big, not as powerful. Maybe not the top-end athleticism that a guy like their running back last year had. However, he's shown to be a really a productive running back in this game.
Yeah, he ran a crossbuck that time and got away from all the up-front defenders and ran for the first down.
1st and 10 for Clinton. They're going to look left. Man open across the middle. That's caught at the 35, 40, bounces off a defender, 45, 50. One man to beat. Can he do it? It's Quivez Williams in pursuit. Quivez will get him and wrestle him out of bounds, but not before Clinton gets into Oak Ridge territory. It'll be 1st and 10 Dragons way down at the 16-yard line.
Wow, fortunately he caught up with him in time to tackle him, but not before they get in the red zone. Now they're all the way down to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, 6 minutes and 5 seconds left in this game. Wildcats ahead, 42-21.
5:55 to play. Clock is counting. 3 wide receiver bunch set to the right. 1 receiver to the left. Quarterback's going to look right. Why not? That's where Maddox is at. They fake it to him, and they get it out to number 6, who just caught that big pass. He's blasted that time by Jimerson. It was Donovan Pensick, the senior wide receiver, who caught those 2 consecutive balls. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 15-yard line upcoming for Clinton. One man all alone on the near side sideline, Braylon Hayden. Good-looking athlete at receiver. Quarterback's going to pass, but he's not going to look that way. He's going to throw it way over the top of a leaping Bryson Maddox. Maddox is a tall guy, great leaping ability. He's caught a lot of jump balls tonight, but Michael Jordan wasn't jumping up high enough to catch that one.
No, I don't think Wilt Chamberlain could have caught that ball. Way too high.
But they say if you're a quarterback, especially throwing across the middle, if you're going to miss in the end zone, you're going to throw a bad ball. It's better to miss long because if you miss short, it could be intercepted. If you miss long, you just move on to the next down. It's 3rd and 9, ball on the 15-yard line. Clinton trying to score here and make this game a little bit closer. It's 42-21. Oak Ridge leading 5:10 to play. Again, 3rd and 9 from the 15. Clinton driving, trying to score. They're going to flip it out to Davidson, who drops the ball. Was it a fumble? It was close to being a lateral, but they're going to say it was a forward pass, so it's incomplete, and it brings up 4th and 9 from the 15-yard line.
Davids is limping now.
Clinton wants a timeout. Let's take one with him. We'll be back in 30 seconds to Blankenship Field. So I guess after the game, I will go down to the field and just talk, bring it back up, and then whenever I get back, we'll go straight to you and then stats.
I'll be listening.
Oak Ridge Pharmacy, and Newport. Thank you for responding.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you to Laura Lynn for her contributions to make our broadcast happen. And we want to invite you to stay tuned to the post-game show presented by Laura Lynn and State Farm Insurance. 5:06 to play here in the ball game. Clinton trying to score. It's 4th and 9 on the Wildcat 15. Here comes an obvious passing situation. Man to the right. It's nearly intercepted by Jarrell Jimerson, but he bats it away instead, and it's a turnover on downs. Wildcats come back out with their starters on the field, mostly. We're going to get a few substitutions in. Now there's a flag after the play. There's a shocker. It's after the play, so it still should be Oak Ridge ball. The question is, does Oak Ridge get better field position, or do they get moved back? Oak Ridge has committed way too many penalties. Coach Rang would be the first one to tell you. I'm sure Clinton has done the same. Both of these teams have been sloppy. It's going to be a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Oak Ridge. My goodness. We'll have to see after the game. Depending on who that was on, it could have ramifications for the next game. Just not smart, Mike.
No, it's unfortunate this has happened. Oak Ridge has gotten to be way too mouthy when they need to just go back into the huddle and do your job.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats, starting this drive backed up into their own territory at the 7-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Quarterback Stansberry still in there. His running back is Rush Douglas. He'll get the handoff left tackle. Bounces it outside across the 10. Runs a man over to the 15. Gets down at the 16-yard line. And it was a gain of about, they'll say, 9. So 2nd and 1 for the Wildcats. Angel, Sharp, and West into the ballgame at receiver. Oak Ridge with their starting quarterback, starting line, and Malik Howard still in there as starter. So 7 starters, 3 reserves, 4 reserves, Math is hard. Here comes a Rush Douglas handoff, and it's a 10 make of Oak Ridge first down. He needed 1, and he got about 4. It will be 1st and 10, a 10 make of Oak Ridge, a first down for the Wildcats. Ball at the 20-yard line now where it rests. 4:08 to go in the 4th quarter. Hopefully the rest of this game kind of goes quickly, Mike, without any fireworks, and just kind of think both sides and everybody in attendance, including yourself and myself, would like this game just to kind of hurry up and end before anybody gets into any trouble, before there's any extra unnecessary drama. Just walk out of here with a win over a rival. 1st and 10 from the 20. Stansberry with the give to Rush Douglas. Rush bounces outside across the 20, across the 25, and that's where he's going to be knocked out of bounds, right at the 25. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Oak Ridge. Nice to see Rush Douglas getting some carries as a guy that's a third-string running back, been getting more and more carries throughout the season. He's another good, talented young running back. The whole backfield really is young for Oak Ridge.
Yes, they are, but they're talented, and it's good to see them getting some, Douglas Rush getting these repetitions. It really helps out as the season goes on. The talent level goes up as they keep working harder and harder and getting more reps.
Play clock under 10 now for Stansberry. The call is in. It's at 5, 4, 3. Here's the snap. Stansberry going to fake a long pass, going to decide to run it. He does not need to take an unnecessary hit here. He's too valuable to this team to get hurt in this sort of situation. Wisely, he dives down before he takes too much of a hit. But I think everybody kind of holds their breath when you're starting quarterbacks in this late and takes off with the football. I'd almost rather him, even if it stops the clock, just toss that one away. You don't want him to take a shot. So it's 3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line. Oak Ridge trying to continue this drive and milk the clock out of this game. Rush Douglas with a give off left tackle across the 30, 35, 40. One man to beat. Can he beat him? Across the 50, and no, they say he stepped out of bounds. What a play by Rush Douglas. If you've got running backs, you can just continue to feed. He's got fresh legs, and he showed them there.
Yeah, if Jay Seeger hadn't had the angle of pursuit, he would have gone all the way for a touchdown.
Clinton still doing some jawing. I don't understand what for. Oak Ridge and Clinton both doing jawing back and forth from the sideline. I mean, I don't get it. Here's Stansberry looking, trying to run. He's going to throw it out of bounds. Wise move, young fella.
Yep.
How would you grade tonight's performance from Clinton?
Suspect at best. I mean, they've got some really good athletes on this team, but their lack of disciplines also hurt them as well as the Wildcats. But Oak Ridge just has more talent, especially up front. Our linemen have really excelled tonight, Alex. I'm real proud of the way they played.
I agree. I think tonight the big difference is quarterback play and the guys in the trenches. I think that's kind of where these two teams are separated. Both of them got a lot of young guys playing. Both teams have a kind of a star wide receiver on the outside, but I think quarterback play and line play is the difference in this one. Rush Douglas just stiff-arming guys, not one but two guys, still going across the 50, down to the 45, and he rolls down to the 43-yard line. You don't see the stiff arm used to that level at the high school level a lot, period. Nonetheless, two guys thrown to the ground on one play. This is an impressive young momentous drive for a young back who doesn't get a lot of carries. But if I'm watching this and I'm Coach Rang, I'm going, maybe we need to get this guy a few more touches.
Absolutely. He's impressing me right now, very much so. He's got 2 first downs in a row now for the Wildcats. If they've driven down into the all the way to the 42-yard line, 1st and 10.
Stansberry in the shotgun. He's going to look to throw. Fires across the middle to Justice West, and Justice just can't hang on. He taps his head. He knows that's on him. And Justice is, again, a really talented young guy, a sophomore. Again, I saw him in a JV game, basically trying to dunk a windmill dunk. Just incredibly explosive and hyper athletic. Just hasn't played a lot of football this year. Didn't play at all until last game, and he was played sparingly. And then tonight, Coach Rang looks like he's working him in a little bit more. He's a defensive back and wide receiver. Bright future for him. Just not really in football mode yet. It's just taking him a little while to warm up. Another handoff. Rush Douglas makes a couple of guys miss before he's tackled, but not before a Tinbake of Oak Ridge first down. It's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, down to the Dragon 31, and it looks like Oak Ridge's coaching staff's trying to get a play in. I think they want to try to tack one on here with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Clock is running. They're saying hurry up. Give to Rush Douglas again. Across the 30, across the 25. There's a flag. Rush Douglas is going to break this. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Wildcats. And a late hit into the end zone. Shocker. No flag, though, but there is a flag on the play. They did call a penalty early in that play, I'm guessing, against Oak Ridge. So they ignore the late hit, but don't ignore the probable hold. We'll see if this stands. My guess is it backs Oak Ridge up, but we'll see. Into the game for Oak Ridge now, Hudson Lee, and also, I think for the first time tonight, number 20, and that's Frankie Ortiza. No. Illegal participation for Clinton, so I think they had 12 guys on the field. The touchdown stands. What a run, an individual effort. Started off a great hole, but Rush Douglas, a really impressive showing on that drive, and Oak Ridge has now more than doubled them up. It's 48-21, 1:05 to go in the ball game. Let's see if Frankie can tack on an extra point. Hibbing the snap, Washington the hold. Frankie, the kick, up, and no good. Nice to see Frankie get a shot, though. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up from Blankenship Field. Remember what I said. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan. Mike just showed him during that break that I've still got a little speed and quickness and athleticism in me as Oak Ridge set to kick off. I'm kind of surprised they might not let Frankie try to boot one into the end zone here, but they're going to keep it with Pearson. 48-21 with 65 ticks remaining on the clock. Pearson to approach. The ball is on the tee at the right hash of the 40-yard line. He's kicked it through the end zone tonight. Will he kick this one all the way down into the parking lot towards Jackson Square? We'll see. He approaches, he kicks. It's another boomer, and it will land at the 4-yard line where it's fumbled by Clinton. He picks it back up. It's Davidson. Scampers past the 10 up to the 15. Kind of quits on the play, but the officials hadn't blown the whistle. Dangerous play there. They're going to mark him at the 16-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Clinton. 58 seconds remaining. If I was Clinton, I think I would take 2 knees here and go back on the other side of Anderson County and just try to get, I think mercifully in this game for both sides. And both sides have shown a propensity to kind of do silly things here, and you don't, as teams will line up to shake hands. You got to be careful in a game like this, Mike. You don't want anything silly to happen. So 1st and 10. Doesn't look like Clinton's going to take a knee. Man in motion. They're going to give the ball up the middle. And Gormley and Bishop will meet the runner along with Ferreira. The runner was Logan Kenner. And Clinton will have to run one more play. There's about a 6-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. So, Mike, I will start to head down momentarily. Let's see, we got one more play here. 24 seconds left on the game clock. Clinton doesn't look like they're going to quick snap it, I guess. Got a new running back into the game. That's Bentley Sharp. And he was moving when the ball was snapped, but no call. Quarterback launches one deep, and it's going to be nearly intercepted, but it's going to fall incomplete by Justice West. Unfortunately, Mike, that stops the clock at 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, Bo right there, intended receiver. Good defensive play again by the Wildcats to break up that play, as the Wildcats are going to go away with a win here. 2.4 seconds left in the game. Oak Ridge ahead 48-21. The Dragons are going to run one more play before the half.
Here's the snap, and they're going to launch it. Why not? They're going to throw it over to Maddox, catches it near the first down marker. Bishop's going to wrangle him down, and that'll do it. Final score, Oak Ridge 48, the Dragons from Clinton 21. History and tradition restored with a big win from Oak Ridge. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. Stay with us on the Laura Lynn Green State Farm post-game show. We'll have an interview with Coach Rang, players, and more. field with you now. First off, I'll start with Jared Bafford. Jared, starting left tackle for the Wildcats, obviously. Blaine Stansberry, we're going to speak to him in a moment. The left tackle is kind of like big brother for a quarterback. You guys are both juniors, but I'm sure it takes a lot of responsibility. First off, big win against a big rival tonight. I know you're a passionate guy. Wear your heart on your sleeve and your emotions on your sleeve. It's got to feel good to beat the Dragons.
Yes, sir, all the time.
Tonight, I thought the offense, the two big differences in this team. They have some athletes over there, but to me, the big differences was quarterback play. And then in the trenches, offensive and defensively on the lines of scrimmage, I thought you guys were dominant. Is that something going into tonight that you felt like you guys had the advantage?
Of course. I definitely feel like the offensive line is one of the strong points on the team. And, I mean, if you can ask anybody in the region, at the beginning of the year, the offensive line was the big thing this year. So for us to just keep on coming in and wailing on teams, it'll lead us big in the playoffs.
Might can guess by looking at my stature. I never played offensive line. However, you hear that offensive lines, once they start running the ball and having success, it's almost like they always want more, and that kind of creates momentum. Is that a true thing?
Yes, sir. Tonight especially, whenever we had that, I think it was in the third quarter, whenever we just kept on throwing the ball, I was like, why aren't we running the ball? But, I mean, it worked out because we almost scored 50 on them.
It seems to me like you're a guy that kind of wants to run block more than pass block. I see you, the passion and how much you like pancaking guys and being aggressive. Is that something you like more than pass blocking?
Yes, sir, obviously. I mean, I'll leave it's funny because me and my parents have a joke that the right side is more the pass blocking side, the left side's where we run the ball. And, I mean, at the end of the day, I love putting people on their back.
As a unit, if you're a running back, you're one guy out there. If you're a receiver or a quarterback, you're one or two guys out there. As an offensive line, there's 5 of you guys every single play. How does that help? Do you guys have you feel like a certain special camaraderie up there that you guys have between each other?
Yeah, so especially now this year. We didn't really do it last year, but the communication's been incredible this year. I mean, we're doing things that we didn't do last year, and we're fixing mistakes that we had last year. And I mean, as a unit, we've been more dominant this year.
Last question for you before we get to Blaine. There was a video that surfaced on social media, and I think there was a snippet of you saying something like no more losses or something after a few weeks back. And to this point, you've held true on that promise. What do you guys need to do, not just as a line, but as a team going forward to keep this thing rolling?
Just keep the foot on their throat. Don't let off the gas, and keep doing what works. If running the ball works, run it. If passing the ball works, throw it deep.
Junior left tackle Jared Bafford, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talk to Blaine Stansberry now, quarterback for Oak Ridge. And Blaine, this win always is nice to win. It's always nice to win at home, but it's always even better to do both of those things against a rival.
Yes, sir.
You have a special kind of connection. You grew up kind of on that side of Anderson County. You and Will have different ways of expressing those emotions, but I know that this game means a little extra to everybody because of the rivalry, but especially to you two. Is that something that plays in your mind during the game, or does that kind of go out the window once the ball snaps?
From middle school, we still had a rivalry, Norris versus Clinton, so it's sort of embedded into me, so it's still the same feeling. So I think about it a little bit.
Oak Ridge scored 7 touchdowns tonight, 48 points on the board. I think you were responsible for 6 of those. I know Rush Douglas got the one at the end. I think you threw 5 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. I know you ran 1. Did you feel like coming in tonight that you could have a big night, or was it just something as the game progressed that you guys just kind of felt coming?
Every game this year, I really tried to focus on just protecting the ball. So scoring feels great, but protecting the ball always feels better.
You've become a little bit more of a willing runner, and I talked last year with David Clary on the air a lot about, he's got a set of wheels on him, and it maybe surprises people, but you didn't run a lot last year. You don't run a ton this year, but it seems like you're a little more willing. When you scored that touchdown, I mentioned earlier, you don't necessarily wear the emotions the same way as a guy like Will or Dallas does, but you wore him after that. You lowered the shoulder, ran a guy over, bounced off a tackler into the end zone. Walk us through what happened in that play.
Well, I was thinking me and Malik Howard were talking about a dance, and I think they ended up getting me for it, so it just sort of came out. A lot of emotion bent up.
So it was you. So we were wondering who that penalty was on.
Oh, yeah, I think it was. They called Malachi, but I think it was me.
We'll chalk that one up to Malachi taking one for the team. You guys beat a rivalry. Congratulations on that and a great night. What do you guys as an offense have to do to keep continuing to get better and not get complacent?
We got to stop all the penalties. The holdings, everything is killing us. And I think we got better making sure we all set this week. And that was a big problem in the last couple weeks, so we just got to keep working on those small things.
Your quarterback, Blaine Stansberry. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Oh, as it starts to rain, I'm going to try to get Coach Derek Rang. And, Coach, if you're ready, it goes from one interview right to the other. We'll let him say hey to his family real quick. Coach, we'll make it quick. I don't like rain. Big win tonight against a big rival. I guess technically I didn't think about it until just now. It's your first win against Clinton. How does it feel?
Feels good. I mean, like I said, it wasn't always the prettiest game. You know, when you get in rival games, you kind of expect that. But just proud of the way we just kept fighting and clawing. And for a while, it was score after score after score. And then we found a way in the second half. Defense stepped up, had some takeaways, found a way to, pull away a little bit there at the end. And it does mean a lot, just because like we said, the way last year ended sideways. And then Coach Gaddis stepping in the first time over there, it's kind of been a very unique, history with me in the Clinton series. So I think it's big to come out here and get a win and, more importantly, just that's our third win in a row, defend the home field, big region win, checked a lot of boxes tonight.
I thought the difference in this game, both teams had some speed and some athletes at the skill positions, but I thought the two things that separated these two teams tonight were the quarterback play and the lines of scrimmage. I thought you guys were dominant up front on both sides of the ball, and I thought Blaine had probably his best game of the year. Talk about those two performances.
Yeah, I mean, he was on fire tonight. It was kind of funny. We were able to run the ball and throw it, so we had different situations. It was kind of like, it was very easy to call plays, really, when you have a guy like Blaine back there who can make every throw, and then you have an offensive line blocking like they were. And the running backs ran hard all night. So, I mean, we were just out there rocking and rolling. And, we're a hard offense whenever you can run the ball and throw it well. But you're right, the line of scrimmage, what about the offensive line's pass protection? Blaine had all day to throw it back there. And, of course, when that happens, you're going to have success.
Thank you so much, Coach. Final score, 48-21, and it's kind of funny on the field down here. They've relinquished the score to 0 for Clinton, but they've left Oak Ridge's 48 up. So for all the pictures that are being taken up, it looks even worse than it was. Mike Sheehan, I was going to toss it to you, but I think you've just stepped away from the mic. Nope, there he is. Mike, if you've got the scoring summary, let's go ahead and read those scoring summaries off. Mike Sheehan, back to you.
Thank you very much, Alec Myers. Wildcats come away with a big victory tonight, a regional victory, and it's very important for the Wildcats. Start this game off with 7 minutes and 12 seconds into the first quarter. The Clinton Dragons took the lead first on an 18-yard catch by Bryson Maddox from Benjamin Jalen, and the Dragons went up 6-0. The extra point was good by Emmanuel Ortiz, and the Dragons led 7-0 early. But with 11:15 still left in the second quarter, Blaine Stansberry threw a beautiful pass to Will Presley, and the Wildcats got on the board 6-7. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats tied it up, 7-7. Then with 8 minutes and 24 seconds, Camillion Porter ran one in from 39 yards out, put the Wildcats up 13-7. And then Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 14-7. But it wasn't meant to be for very long, because Jalen Benjamin threw a 48-yard touchdown pass to Bryson Maddox, a tremendous athlete. Went up and caught the ball, got into the end zone, and the score was 13-14 in favor of the Wildcats. The extra point was good by Emmanuel Ortiz, and the game was tied 14-14. But then with 5 minutes and 51 seconds left, still in the first half, Jamichael Howard ran one in from 7 yards out, and the Wildcats took the lead for the rest of the night, 20-14. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats led 21-14. And then just with 1 minute and 43 seconds left, Blaine Stansbury ran one in around right in and put the Wildcats up 27-14. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats led 28-14. Then in the third quarter, the Dragons got on the board again with a 7-yard pass from Jalen Benjamin to Bryson Maddox again, and the Dragons pulled within 8, 20-28. Extra point was good by Emmanuel Ortiz, and the Wildcats led by 7, 28-21, but not for long. With 2 minutes and 24 seconds less, Will Presley caught a beautiful pass from Blaine Stansbury from 40 yards out to put the Wildcats up 34-21. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats led 35-21. Then Tyree Porter intercepted a pass on the 16-yard line with 4 minutes left in the game, and the Wildcats drove down the field, but due to a lot of penalties, were quite able to score. But with 4:18 left in the third quarter, Blaine Stansbury threw a 12-yard pass to John Jefferson, and the Wildcats went up 41-21. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats led 42-21. Then after Dallas Frent intercepted a pass on about the 15-yard line, we had numerous penalties, and Oak Ridge wasn't quite able to score until 1:05 left, and Douglas Rush ran one in from 31 yards out to put the Wildcats up 48-21. Frankie Ortiz came in and tried to attempt the extra point, a little bit short, but the Wildcats walk away with a big regional victory, 48-21.
Thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate all you do for us, keeping the scoring summaries and just doing so many things behind the scenes. Speaking of behind the scenes, Mark and Shauna Hayes do probably more than anybody here, and we appreciate them each and every week. We never thank them enough. Mark, you got the final stats for tonight's ball game.
Thank you very much, Alex. Oak Ridge victorious tonight by a final score 48-21 over the Clinton Dragons. Leading rusher for the Wildcats was Demillion Porter. He had 149 yards on 17 carries. That's an average of 8.8 yards per carry. Rush Douglas also carried the ball well for the Wildcats. He had 7 carries for 89 yards. His average was 12.7 yards per carry. Blaine Stansbury, 9 carries for 37 yards, and Jermichael Howard had 35 yards on 5 carries. So as a team, the Wildcats rushed the ball 38 times, gaining 310 yards on the ground. Through the air, starting quarterback for the Wildcats, Blaine Stansbury, he was, 10 of 19 for 168 yards. Receiving for the Wildcats, they were led by Will Presley. He had 5 receptions for 89 yards. His long was 40 yards. Jarrell Jimerson had 3 receptions for 64 yards. His long was 45. And Malik Howard had 2 receptions for 15 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats had 310 yards on 38 carries. They had 168 yards on 10 receptions for a total offense tonight, 478 yards. Wildcats had 15 first downs in the ballgame, but here's the bad stat. They had 17 penalties for 163 yards. Time of possession, Oak Ridge had the ball 25 minutes and 48 seconds. Now looking at Clinton, they were led on the ground by Elijah Davidson. He had 99 yards on 15 carries. That's an average of 6.6 yards per carry. Travian Bounds had a 2-yard carry. Raylan Hayden also with a 2-yard carry. Bo Wright had a 2-yard carry as well. Riker Arms, 2 yards on 3 carries. Jackson Harrell had a 2-yard carry. Logan Kenner had 1 carry for no yardage. And then Jalen Benjamin, the quarterback for the Dragons, had 4 carries, netting minus 11 yards. So as a team, the Clinton Dragons rushed the ball 27 yards, gaining just under 100 yards. They were 98 yards on the ground. Through the air, much more successful were the Dragons. Jalen Benjamin, starting quarterback for the Dragons, he was 9 of 18 for 160 yards. He did have one interception. Camden Nelson came on late and in kind of situational plays for the Dragons. He was 5 of 12 for 130 yards. He also had an interception. Receiving for the Dragons, they were led by number 7, Bryson Maddox. You heard his name a lot tonight. He had 10 receptions for 216 yards. Number 6, Donovan Pinnock, or Pinchek, maybe, had 2 receptions for 68 yards, and Bo Wright had 2 receptions for 6 yards. I'm sorry, Donovan Pinchek had 2 receptions for 68 yards. His long was 67. So, as a team, the Dragons had 98 yards on 27 carries, 290 yards on 14 receptions for a total offense of 388 yards. They had 14 first downs in the ballgame. They had 8 penalties for 58 yards. So now looking at the teams side by side, well, before I do that, let me give you the time of possession. For Clinton, they had the ball 22 minutes and 12 seconds. So, teams side by side, Oak Ridge, rushing yards 310. Clinton, 98. Passing yards, Oak Ridge had 168. Clinton, 290. Total offense, Oak Ridge with 478 total offensive yards. Clinton, 388. First downs, very even. Oak Ridge had 15. Clinton, 14. Penalties, Oak Ridge 17 penalties for 163 yards. Clinton, 8 penalties for 58 yards. And then time of possession, Oak Ridge had the ball 25 minutes, 48 seconds. Clinton, 22 minutes and 12 seconds. Again, Oak Ridge victorious tonight, 48-21. Alex?
Thank you so much, Mark. It's been a long night for everybody involved, specifically the Clinton Dragons. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up here, Mike. If you'll give your final thoughts on a victorious evening for Oak Ridge.
Well, it was a joyous night for the Wildcats to walk away with a regional victory. And now they go 3-2 on the year. They got Knox Central coming in next Friday night. Another big regional game. Looking forward to that big time. Our line play is getting a whole lot better, but our discipline is not so good. That's the only real negative I have about this game. I thought the Wildcats really played hard tonight, and they played well together. And Blaine Stansberry and his line played outstanding tonight. It was just overall a great victory for the Wildcats.
It doesn't matter if you get 99 penalties and you win 2-0 on a safety. A win against Clinton is a big night and is a night that you can rest your head and sleep easy at night. So lots of room for improvement, certainly between now and next Friday, where we host Central. Again, 2 more games here at Blankenship Field. We're in the middle of a 5-game home stretch. It sounds like something from baseball or basketball, but no, it's high school football. So next week and then the following week will be senior night. So come on down and see these guys in person if you haven't got the chance to. We appreciate you listening. For Brian Bennett back at the station, David Clare, executive producing from out of town in Atlanta tonight. For Ben George doing camera work for us up top. Alex Waraxa, Grayson Brown, and Matthew Charles doing camera for us on the ground. For Mark and Shauna Haste and everyone, we appreciate you listening. And one more thing, go Wildcats.